Welcome back to another episode of the Red Wagon Inn. I don't know why that thing is gray, and hopefully it goes away. Seriously, what is going on here? The actual hide comments overlay thing. All right, well, I'm disappearing it for now. Welcome back to another episode of the Red Wagon Inn. We have the fantastic Just Sam joining us for tonight, everybody. So, woo, thank you for joining us, Sam.
Cool. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we're very happy to have you here with us. Jakey and Sam go way back, so we're glad to have Sam come on and be a little guest for us and do some Dungeons and the Dragons, which we have a lot of cool Dungeons and the Dragons stuff going on for tonight. If you haven't checked out Sam on Twitch, make sure you do that, and Twitter and Instagram. She's better and funnier than all of us, so you might as well go check her out. Right. But with that, before we get started, does anybody have anything they need to shill tonight? And if not, I'm going to start on some of the art from last week, and we're going to go from there. Beautiful. I love it when nobody has anything to shill, because I'm just going to start shilling my thing, which is make sure, and I'm going to shill this a lot, down there, my 24-hour charity stream that starts next week on April 14th and 15th. Come hang out. We're going to play 3 different games of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm going to make dice. We're going to start it off with you all choosing what dice that I make, and we're going to end the night with those dice being finally made, because I'm going to use resin that will work with that. So come hang out, make some dice. We're going to play Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to paint some minis. It's going to be a good time, and it's all for charity. So come hang out next week for that one. So that's my shill. But
that's super sick.
Yeah, it
Can
is.
I hop in? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a butt, and I totally forgot. You said things to plug, and then you said charity stream. I'm doing a charity stream tomorrow, 12 to 6 Mountain Time, at 2 to 8 EST. It's Gamers vs. MS. They're doing a big relay race.
That's awesome.
They've already raised over $30,000, and it started like Monday. It's nuts. So yeah, that's tomorrow, and yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know you were doing that. So thanks for shilling. Everybody go check out Jakey, and then go check out me, and then go check out Sam, and then go check out Drew, and then go check out Jackie, and then come back here next Tuesday, and we'll see you then. Right. We've got a cool pieces of art from last time. We have 3 different things from Isn't She Classic? First of which is an emote. Instead of sipping coffee, it's our boy Robert sipping on some porridge, which will definitely be added to the Red Wagon Inn Discord. We have another one, which is a GIF emote, which has Summer coming out from the bottom left, which has my little charity stream shill right on top of her. But she comes up and blinks, and it's super duper cute. And then we also have a pinup version of Zinnia, since we're slowly getting pinup versions of every character on here. We want that calendar to be done eventually for 2021, right? Or 2022. God, what a year. We have a piece of art from Elizabeth, which sums up last episode pretty heavily. No spoilers from last episode, but this is a new episode, so come check out the new one. We also have a few things from Rain. Their kiddo made a little hi-ho to Didio, the kind of rhyme thing. So go check that one out in the Discord, because it's too long of a song for me to do here, but it's a hi-ho the Dario. I think I said it wrong. Hi-ho the Dario song with all of the characters. I really like that one. Then Rain also made a cool poem, which we do have enough time for this one. So this is Ode to the Water Boss, since there used to be Ode to the Cliff Bosses. Cliff Boss has nothing on Water Boss now. You almost decided to kill Celine, Zinnia, Flint, Wren, and Howe. The god of chat saved the day, took most of Rybo's GFYs away. Zinnia and Flint controlled water in clutch. Jakey complained how didn't do much. Castigon lives furthermore. Chat is nervous to see what's in store. GFYs come, inspos go. Where was Atta during all of this? I just have to know. Fantastic poem there, Rain. And we have, yeah, well done. And we have 2 giveaways. We have another mystery token for tonight. So the first giveaway, just like we've done before, we'll give you a token that lets you directly interact with us here in the stream. Not that chat doesn't already do that. But then the second giveaway is a set of shiny blue metal dice from D&D WoW. So make sure that you stick around so that you can win yourself one of those giveaways.
Calling it now. Sam's gonna win the giveaway.
Calling it. And Sam, one thing I do have to explain is,
Okay.
So are you familiar with the point of inspiration system in Dungeons and Dragons?
Roughly, give or take. Yes.
Yeah, you do something good, role play very well, you get a point of inspiration, right? Well, we have one called the GFY, which is a go yourself system, which is the direct opposite. If you do something way out of character or reference real world or make a pun that's too heavy, I'm going to give you a GFY, and at any point I can do an opposite point of inspiration to you. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's always fun. But right, other than that, I don't think I have anything. And I don't think we need to roll for recap this week because we have 2 volunteers, Ren and Hao, or not exactly Ren and Hao. You want to go ahead and give us the recap from last week's episode, Drew and Jakey, or Team and Gideon?
Yes, we do. All right. Wow. Okay. So I thought this session was just going to be us fixing a leaky faucet.
I don't understand why you have to be so ruthless as your GM. I don't get it. I
Here's
almost
the
died
thing.
20 times. Meanwhile, Gary the Bard over here doesn't die once. No.
You just have to
Instead,
learn
he's
to get
blowing-
better, Drew. I mean,
He's
team.
blowing he's blowing holes through doors and in walls, destroying things. I don't
Also,
get
if I can hop in here, Gary, look, we break the fourth wall all the time. That is not a fourth wall we can break. Thank you. Let's just keep immersion. Team, that is your name. Thank you. Anyway, so previously, our adventurers decided that they were going to sneak on over to a friend's house, this little wizard tower, for Marcus in the real world. But in my immersive world, which is original content, do not steal goblins and ghouls, his name is Sharkus, because he's a Triton. And he's a magical shark. So they go to Sharkus's house, and the place has been upturned because shark blood is very valuable. And he went somewhere maybe where he was gambling or something. I don't know. And then our wizard, who you know in the real world as Flint Rock Guy, I don't know why I forgot his last name for some reason.
Flunkerton, how dare you?
Thank you, Flint Flunkerton. Well, in this world, his name is Clint McElroy, because that's a good reference. There you go. Enjoy that one, Adventure Zone fans. So here he was, and he said, I'm going to use erupting earth. Well, boy howdy, but were we in a small space. So that erupting earth became erupting everything, and that destroyed the front door and part of the tower. So we came falling, and these towers were above water. So mind you, our players made a good decision. So as they're falling and having some bullet time action, it's a good time, you know, pew, 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 let's all battle. Some people are drowning. Some people want to get an orb. And then there's a whole thing where they're just fighting in the water, and people are either drowning or living, and then eventually almost everyone's dead. As you know, the Leonin Xenia, or in my world, Xena Warrior Princess, she came out of the water and said, whoa, boy howdy, I'm going to make the waves change, and I'm going to save people and do cool healing things. And Robert, who in my world is Robert, was like, yeah, I'm going to help you with my big, strong, muscly, rippling arms, boy howdy. And Celine, who in my world is Selin, all went together and they saved the people that were drowning, and then they sometimes drown and people got up. It was a whole thing, and then they finally got out, and then the character who you know as How, or in my immersive world is YY, decided to put up a dome, but he only had 30 seconds left for the dome, and there was a big tidal wave coming through the water. What do you do when a tidal wave comes? Well, you run away. And then so they went up the little tower and into this little hole. And if you've noticed, you take a paper towel roll. Here's a science experiment, kids. This is Gideon's Science Corner. If you take a paper towel roll and submerge it in your bathtub, you know what happens? The water still rises up that paper towel roll. It doesn't keep water out. Thank you for coming to Gideon's Science Corner. So the water comes up the paper towel roll, or the tower rather, and it's spinning around and around and around, and people get caught in it, and Xena Warrior Princess and YY get a little greedy and decide to take some gold. And when they take that gold, YY gets absolutely battering rammed against the walls. And he gets smacked around, and then finally they get to the middle of the tower, and then a door closed, and I left them on a bit of a cliffhanger. So spoiler alert, Team and Gary the Toilet Bard aren't doing very good right now, but what could possibly go wrong? It's goblins and ghouls, ladies and gentlemen.
But you have left out the part where the door here, Soulforge, she left it open. The door kept opening and closing, opening and closing.
Yeah.
That was our world, so I
Yes,
don't know.
Dungeon Master, you also did happen to forget about all the treasure that went whoosh down the toilet paper roll.
Oh, yes. So here's another
Yes.
science experiment. Go to your parents' room, take that toilet paper thing, and then put the toilet paper tube in the toilet, fill the toilet with water, fill it with your parents' jewelry, and flush, and watch what happens. It still goes down the tube. It doesn't stay in the tube. That's another Gideon Science Corner. Knowing is growing, and the world is pain, and these players... What are they going to do next? I don't know. I'm at the edge of my seat, my proverbial one, not like Gary's toilet seat. Haha, high five, Gary.
Well, at least my character found cocaine.
How do we do? Do we explain it well?
Sam, you understand everything that's going on now, correct?
Water indoors.
Yep, you're good.
She's here. It's like she was part of the
Awesome.
episode.
Yeah. So in a very first of all, inspiration to Team and Gideon. How and Ren, on the other hand, I don't know if they earned one because they didn't do the recap, but you know, no, yeah, you both get a point of inspiration if you don't have one. Absolutely. As was said, they ended up running away from this tower that was basically right on water level where a typhoon hit it. Water went up, washed away a bunch of treasure. They are currently hiding in this tower as they were trying to get away from the Thieves Den. And with that, we were going to continue on where we left off. Also, Dragon Heartflight mentioned, I joined a little late. Did Jakey say anything about the How hoodie? Jakey, did you want me to announce the How hoodie winner, or do you want to announce the How hoodie winner?
My headphones weren't in. Was something directed at me?
Jakey, do you want to announce the How hoodie winner, or would you like myself to?
Could you announce it? Yes.
Yes. Congratulations, Words Mythologic, for winning the How hoodie. So Jakey will reach out to you, and you will win yourself the How hoodie with the house face and all the cool tattoos down the sleeve because of all of the awesome stuff that you did for literally creating 5 different theme songs for the show. So we don't only have just one, we have 5 different theme songs that we can play during intermission and before the show starts. And all of them are absolute bangers. So well done, Words Mythologic.
Also, once that's all sent out by the end of this month, I'm hoping the How hoodie will be up in the shop on JakeyBoiArts.com. So if you want a cool little chatter hoodie, you can get one too after that's been sent out. Sorry, you gotta wait a month, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll just be summer. I'm kidding.
Wait.
It's blue.
Why is your green screen? That's so
Wait,
cool looking.
Actually,
I put a
that's
filter
hilarious.
on. I put a filter on mine. You don't have a filter on yours right now, do you?
No.
Why? Why is that happening? Either way, we should all strive for Sam's level of good-looking camera and everything. So
True.
Stop.
And great looking hoodies.
right.
Sweaters, I should say.
Is this sweatshirt is Pikachu?
It's a little
Completely in
Pikachu.
character. They know about Pikachu in Kern, right?
Yeah, Pikachu's canon. All Pokemon are canon for sure.
Mhm.
The card game exists. Of course, the video games don't. That would be crazy, but the card game exists. Right. With that, let's go ahead and continue where we last left off. It is midday at this point. It is currently storming outside. You are all beneath the city. For clarification, for those who aren't aware, you're in Kern. It is a 20-mile in diameter city. It is a huge New York / Gotham-like city with 100, 200-story buildings, all with layers and layers and layers of housing. You are all beneath it currently, as the city is held up by stone columns that hold wood platforms that hold everything up. You are currently within one of the columns that functions like a tower that goes down towards the ground where they can do repairs, and you are right smack dab in the middle of a spiral staircase that goes up. A hoard of treasure was just washed away as a typhoon blasted through the door and water pushed everything down. The players were resting after a long deal that they were dealing with last time, and they heard the door above them close and shut. Robert looks around and says, "What the hell was that? They can't possibly... We drowned them. I broke my spear upon them. Where are they?" Robert, a bit paranoid, looks at all of you for guidance on what to do here.
I think there's more than just the people we saw. I mean, from what I've heard of this TD, Thieves Den, or Thaddeus, whatever, they are like rats that run through the street. So we are kind of hooped if they think that we are with Marcus right now.
And their initials were on the chests here, so they could be coming back for them. So maybe we could just abandon, I guess. Wait, do we know how long the tsunamis last around here? There's another one coming. I don't know if I could take another one.
Sania, You are a Tempest cleric. Go ahead and roll me a nature or religion, whichever's higher.
Guidance high five.
What's bah? No, I don't think that would. Well, I don't know if that would help with a natural 1.
Well,
So,
you're not very versed in storms beneath large cities. If this was out on the open ocean, you might be able to tell something, but you're certain the columns must have an effect on it. Your guess is as good as going out and taking a look for yourself if you'd like.
yeah, I can't tell. My senses aren't tingling right now.
Sam, you hear voices coming down from inside the tower. There seems to be talk about chests of yours having been washed away.
Yeah.
You look down over the edge, you see a black dragonborn in heavy armor, a female with feathers in her hair, one mohawked man with a big, tall red mohawk kind of slopped off to the side from it being wet, someone that's all gray with white features, someone in all purple, and a Leonin female sitting halfway up the spiral staircase in which you store and stash your goods down at the bottom of. And
Are you?
can you
sorry.
give me a description of your character real quick?
Yes. So, my character, she's roughly, let's say about 3 inches tall. She's got like this like really nice leather jacket on. She's all like roughed up. She's got some bandages on her face. But you know, like blush across the nose because you know she looks really pretty. She's got my hair because lack of creativity. And she just looks. It's me. And she's got these nice like sage green wings.
And art done by Jakey Boy very quickly last night. Well done, Jakey Boy. So there we've got ourselves a little Betsy.
There you
So
go.
Betsy, you see all that scene down below you, and you hear them talking about your treasure being washed away.
Yeah, I can see them from where I am. Like, am I
Correct.
Like a
So you're on this little balcony that leads up through a stone spiral staircase that leads down. There's nothing in the center. It's kind of hollowed to where you can see down in the tower. Being that you can look over the edge, you do, and see that your chests are not there, nor is the door that's at the bottom of this tower that's maybe about 100 feet up. But there's water sitting at the bottom of this tower, and all of these people sitting on the sides of the staircase.
So, Betsy is like flying right at the balcony edge, and y'all y'all hear like the tiniest little voice coming up from above, but it's a strong voice, and she's like, "What the hell happened to my 2 chests? I had so much golden goodies in there!" And she like starts to zoom down, but keeps a distance because she's you know, wary. She's also alone. But yeah, there you hear a little fairy.
Suddenly a small fairy with incredible wings, you know, a wingspan of maybe 3 or 4 inches wide, comes and flies right in front of the 6 of you around this spiral staircase with a voice equaling in loudness to Zinnia.
Ah, Jesus! And Ren just like falls down the stairs.
Robert looks at you very confused, never having seen a creature as tiny as you. What are you?
I look like a cat.
Pure death, Robert.
fairy.
Pure death.
A fairy? Wait, like... But none of my teeth have come loose. This it must not be time for this, truly.
I do this from standing behind the fairy, just look at him like,
Yeah, I haven't heard that one before.
I'm sorry, I meant no offense. Please.
Yeah, well, offense taken. Where's my chest?
Ren?
Don't look at me.
Actually, yes. How?
Yeah, let's just keep passing the. There was a giant wave down there, and I'm assuming the 2 chests marked TD were yours at the bottom. They got washed up. I'm pretty sure most of it's going to be in the river now.
So, you know, I think this just means you gotta help me then, right? Or I can tell everyone you hear.
Maybe.
She's got like
Maybe
her
we should
hands on
help.
her hips, and she's just like,
Are you,
Howleen's like face to face now with this like small individual.
So let me get this straight. We help you find your treasure that might have been washed out by a giant wave, or you're going to rat on us.
I mean, or I can kill you myself.
are you Thaddeus Dinklage? I'm sorry. I heard the name once, but it's kind of convoluted to me.
I don't think you're the ones who can be asking questions here.
Look, little fairy, I gotta say, this was totally, it's kind of my fault here. The kind of essential, literally punk rock looking one comes to. This is kind of my fault here. I was just trying to protect my friends, and things got out of hand. The door happened to go, or else we were gonna go, and so maybe just forgive and forget.
No.
Okay, that's fair. I get that.
I'll bite. So, how much was in there that we have to help you get, theoretically? Because we haven't said yes or no yet.
I'm not going to tell you what's inside, because it's none of your beeswax.
So you want us to help you get something that we don't know what it is?
That's true. You lost it
I'm pretty sure the water took it.
because of you! She's just like fuming.
Robert looks terrified of this small creature floating between everyone. Robert is the biggest one of the group, maybe besides Zania, and is very shoulders hunkered over at this point. He has no weapon after breaking it last time.
Rin is actively hiding behind a staircase. Rin is terrified of fairies.
Betsy, I need you to roll me a nature check.
Ada, hush.
Hang on. Trying to get my die out.
Hi, Loki.
Doesn't count for inspiration. You guys show us.
So that's where Otto was the whole time.
You said nature?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. I got a really dirty 20.
Ooh, it's a really dirty 20. As
Absolute filth.
you
It's
see
like really not.
the man who's hiding behind the staircase, you recognize his white skin and his silvery hair to be a changeling. You, being a fairy, may sympathize with their plight, as changelings in this world are hunted for their blood if they are found for all sorts of evil magics. But good company wouldn't do anything about that. But you have that knowledge in your database now.
I want to avoid the two questioning me because they're not in any place to ask questions. So I fly over to this cowering little beast. And I'm just like, hey, buddy.
Yeah?
What's wrong? Are you scared? And I like kind of bug at him a little bit.
Jumps back.
Like I like show my teeth.
Celine, being a forest creature, kind of giggles.
I'll help. I'm gonna die.
Feel bad.
Celine comes in with kind of a word of wisdom here and says, Ren, you're not... She's a fairy. She's not... She's
You don't
just...
understand.
Well, you mean him no harm, correct, Betsy?
I mean, if y'all are willing to help me, I mean you no harm at all.
How would we
Okay.
help you?
Get me the chests back.
Pardon me, but they are at the bottom of the ocean. Is there anything else that we might be able to do for you?
You know, you can help me steal a chest. We could do that. If you know, you're down for it. You know, I'll forgive you. Well, your transgressions.
Hal's smiling behind his mask because Hal has just clicked in and figured something out. but he's not going to say anything right now. He's very smug.
Celine just kind of, I don't really speak for a group here. I don't know that is something that people would be willing to do. She's like looking for somebody to like grab the bone. She's like, please help me here, but nobody keeps speaking up. Is it your what chest are you wanting stolen?
It's a chest that I know that the gambling den has. You know, so it's just an easy in and out little razzle dazzle, bada bing, bada boom, and then you know we go on our merry way and we'll be fine.
Listen,
I'll mess with you and you can go on. You know.
if it keeps her from devouring our souls, then yes.
Jacob speaking. So you're telling me this is a heist episode in a gambling den? Because I'm so here for it. The temptation to make Hal go, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
Wait, how many dens are there in the city? A gambling den to go with the thieves den. Are they not the same?
I mean, if you're counting dens that are in houses, people have tons of dens. Dens are everywhere.
That's a fair point.
Can I look, because Hal's going to be pacing around the room right now, like this platform. Can I look at, does Betsy have anything red insignia or TD marking on her? Because Hal's got a feeling that these aren't her chests, but she knew they were here.
Go ahead and roll a perception or investigation, your choice.
Can I have advantage because I saw Sam crack a smile when I said that?
I like
just
your
roll.
enthusiasm. It's fine.
Yeah?
Mm.
I don't know if which are the two?
Whichever one you would prefer.
Of the two, sorry, though, which are they?
Oh, perception or investigation?
Perception, definitely, because that makes it a 21.
21. So, Betsy, does your character actively wear or keep anything of the TD on them for markings?
She does.
With a 21, you do notice she is a fairy. It is hard to hide such a large coin. Her backpack is almost coin-shaped as you take a look, and it's ripping the stitching on her little knapsack back here, but she seems to always carry one on her as some form of identification, and you just see the edge of the coin, and you see the silver on one side and the gold on the other, just like you did in the chest.
Okay. How's going to keep that info to himself for now?
Zinnia is kind of looking in awe. She's never seen a fairy. She's only heard of them. And she's just tilting her head and looking at Betsy and just like, gambling den, huh? Is there only one in the whole town, or?
I mean, there's several, but there's one that I frequent, so I know my way in and out.
Would this be in the south?
Would this be in the south?
Yes, it would.
Yes.
Wow, so how'd you know? So method.
I turned to Ren. Gambling den in the south, Ren. Sounds like a possibility, right? I'm sorry, Betsy. Do you really devour souls?
I mean,
Ren immediately starts like backing away at the hesitation.
I've fed recently. I'm fine. Don't worry.
Oh.
Betsy, go ahead and roll an intimidation.
Okay.
Even if it's by accident.
Okay.
If it's above 15, Ren will kick his pants with crap.
Just kick it with crap.
It's a 12.
It is a 12.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is mildly perturbed. Those who have no predisposition against fairies don't really see a problem with this. However, both Ren and Robert kind of move a little closer to each other. But Ren grabs Robert's arm, like someone in a haunted house that just is afraid of what's going to come around the corner.
So, like, does like one soul last you like months on end because you're like you don't need that much energy? Like, how does that work?
Hey, that's very personal information.
Oh,
you're
sorry.
asking there. I don't ask you about your meals.
Sorry.
Hal
Sorry.
rolls his eyes behind his mask just to...
Sorry.
Also, can I pause as Draco Wynn said, "Hurt our boy," and I'm coming in with a fly swatter? Sorry, that was too good not to mention.
You know what? Here's the thing. I don't want to stir a bee's nest with the TD, but I am curious why you want to steal this chest. Because here's the thing. Yeah, you're a fairy. I'm sure your soul-devouring powers are horrifying. But
The worst.
I want to know why 2 chests at the bottom of a staircase in a precarious location anyone could have stumbled by is worth shaking down 5 individuals to help you steal a chest.
I mean, just is it too hard to figure out that I'm very small and I need help carrying a chest back? It's too heavy for me.
But you said you could kill us all.
Yeah, I can kill, I can't carry.
Hal leans in, does that lean in real close again? Puts a finger out. I'm in. This sounds interesting.
Yeah, so not that I'm not cool with this, because, I'm sure you're gonna take from the rich, give to the poor, but I'm kind of spent here, little gal, and so maybe, I don't know, like a quick nap and a boot and rally and I'd be good, but when are you looking to get this done?
I mean, you should have thought about a rest before you ruined my other 2 chests.
Yeah, no, that I can't say that's not fair. Ooh. But if you want somebody,
Coffee. I can get you some coffee. That'll pump you up.
you got current coffee?
I'm sure I can go grab some.
Well, that would help, definitely.
Good.
Nervously, Ren. I'm spent too.
Okay, 2 cups of coffee. Anybody else? Am I your waiter? Come on. Chop chop. What time's it wasting?
Okay, yeah, let's go get some coffee and chill out for just a little bit, and then we'll help her out, right?
I'm gonna find an alley to set up in while you guys get your coffee, and anyone can join me. I'm gonna make a dome in the alleyway. Then we can sit there. Anyone who needs to close their eyes for at least an hour, we can.
Okay, man, wipe up when you're done with your dome. Flint, not entirely sure what you're doing. It begins to walk up the staircase before looking down towards Betsy and Ren, as Ren is a little hesitant to walk up the staircase before Betsy would go up there. But Robert kind of gives you one of the pats on the back that causes you to stumble when you're not expecting it, before trying to usher everyone up the stairs. But that being said, you don't have to go up the stairs. What's everybody doing?
I guess if I'm going up and then changing back into the tiefling.
Betsy, your suspicions earlier of this being a changelings were immediately confirmed. Something about this group does strike you as odd and special, the fact that they are so okay with this person. As Ren changes to a tiefling, his expression hardens a bit. Are you all going up? Anybody staying behind?
Ren, if it'll make you feel comfortable, I can be in between you and the fairy.
You should probably stay down here. I don't know. We still have to worry about, you.
Right.
I'll send you a
Right.
message when the dome is up, and then just run up. People can't see through the dome. You'll be good.
Got it. Great. Thank you, Ren. Almost forgot. How could I forget? Oh, that's so silly of me.
It's okay. It's just an assassin trying to murder you. Okay.
Oh, wait, actually, does anyone tell me this? Since you put your chest here, people don't frequent this area a lot, do they?
I mean, not really. Most
Alright.
people are scared of me. I mean, I look innocent, right? I just look really cute in my leather jacket. I got it the other day. It's really nice. I shined it, and I really like it. But nobody wants to be near me sometimes. It's like a solemn expression. She's just like, and she snaps out of it. And she's like, "All right, coffee."
as you hear the door kind of click and open as Flint is upstairs holding the door open. You can now hear the kind of downpouring outside, as where you were all upstairs earlier, you didn't hear that much of a storm. Now it is a raging typhoon outside now. There is a bit of water that is hitting the streets below, but a lot of it hits the side of buildings before it can actually hit the ground because there's so many that are so tall. As a result, most of the water isn't splashing down on the ground. It's more running off of the side of the buildings, and the street itself is just kind of a wash with maybe about an inch deep of water that's constantly flowing out to drains that lead it downwards and out of the city. But for those of you who are going to go with Betsy, as Betsy leads everyone to grab some coffee, as Hao begins casting a spell and Zinnia hangs back with Hao as to not be seen, who all's going with? So Flint and Robert and Celine are going to go with. Ren, you're going with too, correct? And then Hao and Zinnia are staying behind? Fantastic. Betsy, as you get outside, the water, not really that much of a bother for you. A few sprinkles come down, but mostly, again, it's on the ground because that's just how it works in the city. It's too many tall buildings. So you don't really have to worry about getting wet. However, everybody else, your boots begin to kind of fill up with water. It's uncomfy. Your shoes are soggy. Betsy, now, there's any number of ways that you could get coffee within this city. If you're wanting to just get something to help aid in taking a break, there are many restaurants nearby. Or if there's a hideout of yours that you'd like to go to and maybe grab something from there, what are you kind of looking for here? Where are you wanting to take them?
I would assume that she's got like this really small little hideout. Like if you imagine in the middle of an alleyway, like a tarp that's got like a couple tin cans and like a makeshift coffee station where she just pours like her little shot glasses of coffee. So she wants to lead them to that so that she can pour them like little espresso shots.
As Betsy rushes you all through an alley, Ren, Celine, Robert, Flint, you're trying to get all the water off of you, but you're so slow compared to how fast the fairy is able to move in here. Oh, look at Classic doing the gift subs. Thank you. Isn't she Classic?
Thanks.
You are a classic. That's in the name. As Betsy, you eventually lead them to what to them just looks like a small pole with a piece of fabric or tent cloth over it. As you stop there, and go kind of, they lift it up. Underneath is two tent poles holding up just tent material, and between them on a single line of clothing line are two different bird houses for large birds, which work to be as perfect houses for you. Down and nearby, there's a small little perpetual fire that you have going with your magics that is roasting a small, what would be like a metal can for cooking, but it would just be like a regular coffee cup. But this is your entire coffee pot, and you have some small little can-like lids off to the side. Think size-wise, taking the bottle off of a Coke, you have a couple of those that are basically thimbles for sewing that you've sealed up for drinking in. Ren, Robert, Flint, and Celine all kind of look at each other, confused at how they're all going to get a drink. But Betsy, it's up to you what you offer them.
Actually, as a shape changer, it doesn't say that I couldn't necessarily turn into a fairy just without wings.
Does it say that you have to stay as your medium size?
It does not.
You could definitely, because I think one of the best things about shapeshifters is their ability to go into small surfaces as well. So I don't see why you couldn't also turn into a fairy if you'd like to be a fairy.
I'm so scared.
You conquer your fears.
Robert, hold me.
Hold you as you you Ant-Man into his arms. As you Ren, as you suddenly take on much more fairy Tinkerbell-like appearance, where Betsy more has the I'm from Brooklyn kind of I've been changed into being a fairy. You take on the very traditional forest fairy-esque appearance. Kind of the feather-like gown or leaf-esque gown. But as Robert holds you in his hand, now these two large bird houses look like mansions by comparison, and a hot tub full of coffee.
Robert, don't squish me.
Well, sure not to. As he sets you on the porch or the stoop of one of the birdhouses that nearby has the coffee. Point of inspo for Jakey. You brought your kitty cat on. I know you already have one, but there you go.
Cat butt.
Cat butt. Betsy, yeah, it's up to you. If you offer them all coffee, what are you doing?
Well,
Wow.
first off, I'm looking at him go from big to little, and I'm like, huh, welcome to the good side. How you feeling?
Honestly, very tired.
It's okay. You know what? I've got the strongest coffee. I come out here all the time during my lookouts.
This is a
Drink
very
up.
nice place.
Thank you. I decorated myself. You know, you're much nicer than you make out to be. Next time, don't cower in fear. Say hello. Be confident. You in the big city, punk?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. No, I've heard stories. Do you really consume souls?
Maybe I'll
I-
tell you when I like you.
Okay.
So anyway, and she reaches to her little little coffee station, and pours like each a little drink, and it turns out that it's like the strongest shot that they've ever had.
It's just
Because
pure espresso.
yeah, it's literally just like a bunch of ground coffee just sitting there.
She brews her coffee with Bang energy instead of water.
so, so it's just so strong, and she's flying around and handing them each one good swig that'll pep them up. Go ahead and drink it, unless you're scared.
Robert looks down.
Poison.
Thank you, little fairy. As Flint says, yeah, thanks, little gal. Before they both take their little thimble.
Oh, wait, poison that one. I'm just kidding. You're so funny. Go ahead and
Oh.
drink.
Oh, you had me there. Yeah, no, you got me. Sorry. But this is strong stuff, little one.
Yeah.
What's in this?
I mean, you know, bang energy. I got it at the local grocery store. I flew in. I just like, you know, pinched one of them with my dots, and I just let it kind of seep through my little pouch, and I brought it home. Nobody
Oh,
saw.
wow. For those who have never tried this, I need everybody to make a con save. So that'll be Ren, Celine, Robert, and Flint. Oh, also, Drew, you also have a little bit of green screen going on your shirt. I have no idea what's going on. It's probably me, since I'm the one doing a green screen. Yeah, so Flint is from the city. He absolutely has no effect on this. Celine also is familiar with magical brewing techniques. Ren, what did you get?
21.
21. It's strong, but it's not that bad. Robert, however, on the other hand, never having drank coffee before in his life, is... Whoa! Whoa! Little fairy, you are... This is... I can see my heartbeat, I feel, through the scales in my chest. Jackie has a movable green screen.
You know, my slime is green.
That's awesome.
I can see my heartbeat. What? This is fantastic. Do you have more?
Yeah. Buddy, I feel like if you have any more, you're gonna die.
Well, I might die happy. This is wonderful.
I'll take that as a compliment, but no, you're done. You're cut off, sweetheart.
Fair enough.
He just sits there panting like a dog, just listening into the rest of the conversation. As Flint says, "Thank you for the coffee, Betsy. We have our buddy back there creating a. No offense to your tent here, a little bit more room for the rest of us, to where we could chill out. You know, if you wouldn't mind."
I mean, if we're gonna chill out anywhere else, you're gonna be near thieves.
We said we won't be seen. He's pretty good with magic. I trust him.
Okay.
But it's so roomy here.
Right? That's what I'm saying. People always thinking they need bigger areas. Whatever, that's more to clean. Anyway. So she
Betsy
she leads, and
Kondo.
there's like a door in the alleyway that leads into a room.
Ooh. As
Robert, pick me up.
Robert carries you in his hand, being that there's a door in the alleyway, there is a small building in which you've kind of perched your almost like birdhouse-esque homes in here, but there's a back door to some local building, of which Betsy would know, but the others do not. So you're going to lead them in there for a time being?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
at funeral.
their funeral. As Betsy says, "Okay, fine." As Robert picks you up and goes off into a nearby building. As Flint goes, but okay. Before Flint follows in. Before we go into that building, let's go back to Hao and Zinnia. Hao, Zinnia, you two have been sitting at the top of this little tower for a bit of time here as Hao has been ritually casting. Your friends have left you. Betsy has taken them off somewhere. What are you two doing?
So I believe Hal was going to go to the street, or at least the sidewalk up above, to cast the little hut, and I'm probably going to just stay in the stairwell
Okay.
until the last second to go to the hut.
Well, I'm gonna cast it with Zinnia there just so like we can
Okay.
chill. The dome is gonna become like, because I imagine it's like a rusty kind of like tunnel, like the almost like rustic red-ish. So it looks like if someone were to look down the stairs, just kind of like there's an area they can't really see as well. But I'm trying to blend in as much as possible. But I'm gonna cast it while Zinnia's there.
Got
Okay.
it.
So for clarification, you're staying in the tower to cast this?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so, because
You didn't want to leave
yeah,
Zinnia.
Betsy pointed out that like A, I don't want to leave Zinnia, and also B, Betsy pointed out that not many people like come through here.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you continue casting your ritual. During this time, Zinnia, you kind of start immediately on your short rest, waiting for them to come back. After a period of time, how you finally get your ley lines laid out and describe to me one more time what your bubble looks like.
So yeah, while Hal casts it, his tattoos and things begin to move even more animatedly, and they start peeling off his skin from his fingertips and weaving around into almost this like spider silk that wraps around, and it slowly becomes just this little like tiny thread and thread by thread at a time bubble. That inside the bubble, the colors are more saturated and more vibrant, and every time someone breathes out or says something like tangible, like either like the word sigh or something comes out of them, and little moments of like just of their own lives like pop up on the inside of the dome, like either whispers or things, and while they pass through the dome they hear just a rush of sound of like things about them and whatnot. And this time while Hal casts it, because this is for players to not, or for viewers to not be confused, because I talked with Robert about changing some spells, but while Hal's casting it,
You talked with
there's
Robert about changing some spells.
Robert, specifically Robert. I said, "Hey, Robert, can I do this?" But while Hao is casting it, one of the threads picks up some of this like fairy dust that was in the area, and that pools into Hao's spell book. And Hao, when he's finished casting, like picks up his book and notices like that residual energy. And he decides he's going to take some of his spells, thinking about Robert specifically, mentioning his discomfort with demons, and how is going to recraft those 2 spells in his book
Fantastic.
while he's just waiting for everybody. That's his short rest thing.
Okay. Zinnia, you're in this bubble. You can see as you sigh, literal sigh goes flying out of the bubble as you look around. You are essentially in a comic book at this point with all of the wording around you, as far as how the words move, not the actual visuals of everything. But as...
Wham! Bam!
yeah, exactly. We'll get the boy wonder in here as you sit and rest for a moment. Are the both of you planning to just wait and get your short rest? Anything that or you're just waiting for the other group, correct? Waiting for them to return back to your building.
Yeah, Hal's just gonna wait, kind of like looking at Zinnia the odd time, just like because Zinnia's been having a bit of a day, like very good or very bad, unfortunate day. So Hal's just giving like Zinnia some space, but if Zinnia wants to talk, like Hal will speak, but he's more so just being like, if we're resting in silence, that is more than okay with me. So yeah.
Oh man. And then also, yes, she's still recovering from her near-death experience, of which she's not had many. But also, I didn't mention this, but last time I was just imagining Otta flying out of reach of everything. I also didn't want to call to him to potentially him get swept up by any of the waves anyway, so I wanted him to keep his distance. So now that we're all getting settled, I would have Otta come to me and be like, just like, okay, Otta, I might need some time. That was a little jarring, so just be patient with me, if that's okay.
Oh, of course. I'll stand watch at the door if you like. I can sit right outside the front, or I can stay inside. I can't see anything from the outside, so you just tell me.
I don't think I could bear losing you again, so if you could just stay right by my side, unless more water comes, then get as far away as possible, because we don't need you to get any bludgeoning
Also,
hit.
the dome is
Anyway.
opaque from the inside, but it's non-see-through from the outside, so Otta could see outside from being inside.
Perfect. Otta curls up in your lap, bony that he is, and he says,
I gotta say, of course I miss team, but
as he curls up in your lap and says,
it is nice to have someone a bit softer to sit in their lap. Thanks.
before he kind of like tips his head, and what the equivalent of purring for an undead creature is in your lap, but it's just as like he normally talks. Also, something to point out: words mythologic reach 10 GFYs. Sam, when somebody in chat reaches 10 GFYs, something bad will happen this episode, so just be wary.
Did you plan this already, Rambo? Did you know that?
There's a
Nothing
lot of
but
people
fun.
who've been at 9 for a while.
Well,
All
who's
right.
at what
but
right
fun.
now?
We'll do what now?
Who's at what right now?
Oh, words just hit 10, so something bad has happened. So words, boom, you reset, you're back down to 0. But yeah, so something. Just don't worry about it. Something will happen.
I was gonna say you could let her know what happened last time someone got to 10 GFYs.
Last time somebody got to 10 GFYs, I sent them to the Feywild. They got attacked. One of them literally changed the entirety of their character, the type of rogue that they were, because they were infected by this thing and gifted by the Fey King new powers, but took their own. A few things happen. Bad things happen. It's not. It's whatever. It's not a
small
big deal.
things.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Stuff happens. It's Dungeons and Dragons. It's fun. So
Dungeons and Dragons.
Betsy, back
Sorry.
to you then. Were you planning on leading them back to the tower or to the separate building that is away?
I think she's just like wants to, I guess, step in the door because they want to be somewhere that fits them. But she wasn't gonna plan to take them any further than that until they start going back.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. So you move them into the back of what you can all start to hear is plates moving back and forth. As you close the door behind Ren, you're very tiny, and this makes you very uncomfortable in here now, seeing everything at such a large size. Seeing it through Betsy's eyes is a bit scary, but it's also kind of magical in its own way. You see this long, dark hallway with a light coming from around the corner. You all hear tons of plates as if they're being put into large vats and being washed. You seem to be on the back side of what is a kitchen. There are 2 doorways through here. One of them is open, and you can see closet-like materials, a few cleaning supplies, a bucket, a mop, etc. And another one nearby is closed. You could go through the hallway, lead into the kitchen, but right now you're currently being left alone. This appears to be like the back door that leads into what may be a restaurant based on how much you're hearing from straight cookery.
Wow.
So we're inside. You feel better?
Yeah, a bit, actually. It's sorry, I can't crunch over that much. I bang my head, but I don't just,
I think it's the hair. You should probably chop it off.
Oh,
Maybe
shoot.
cut down like 6 inches.
No, hold on. He reaches down into his pack and he pulls out a small bit of black grease that he kind of magically dries his hair with prestidigitation. He's like, I would have looked so stupid as he has this like fire red mohawk that stands maybe about 10 inches off of his head. That's better.
Betsy mumbles. She's like, yeah, because you didn't look stupid before.
You what? Sorry, I'm hard of hearing from my music.
No, I think it's the cooks. It's fine. Don't worry
Great.
about it.
Yeah, no, good. As Celine looks over and she kind of just gives you a, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, what have you're looking for a chest. Truly, unless we're able to get some sort of rest here, we're going to be of very little use to you. I'm happy to help. However, I will point out that I don't think that man, pointing to Robert holding up Ren, has a single bone in his body that would let him steal something and may actually be detrimental to your mission.
It's not stealing per se. He's just getting it back from it. Like, it's rightfully mine. It's mine. Like, and I'm the owner. So you won't be stealing from anybody.
Really? So we're just getting it back then?
Yeah.
Well, then I can just go in and demand it back for you. It should be simple. They'll give it right back if it's yours.
Go for it. I don't care.
Done. Well, this should be easy. We can rest and we'll just go speak.
Robert, you're squeezing. You're squeezing,
Oh,
Robert.
I'm
Stop.
sorry. Here, why don't I...
It's like,
He puts you like up on his shoulder to sit down.
I'm gonna try and climb up to his horn.
As you go up, like sitting next to his like fin that goes down the top of his head and on his kind of backwards horn on the side, you sit on the hard part and hold on to the fin up there. Caesar,
Better?
I can see everything that I normally could.
Well, good. Thank you for the coffee. And
yeah. Do we want to go back to your friends though?
If-
You know, I maybe I heard one of them has like some circle he likes to sit in and do like, you know, some goose for bar or something so that you can go rest in there.
sure. I don't know what that is, but that sounds about like something Hal would do.
Yeah, I heard it's like maybe some president said it or like the Dalai Lama. I don't know.
the who and the what of the world?
I don't know. I just heard people say it.
Did Sam just get her first GFY?
Sam got her first GFY. Congratulations. You're one of us.
Hey! One of us.
One of
One
us.
of us.
Yes.
As of course he understood it's a common slip of the tongue that you mean the kings and the chancellor and the queens of the world. Of course, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Slip of the tongue. As
All right. Well then, Ren, hang on. Well, let's head back to them.
before you're like, as you go away. Bobo, what happened to your last 10 GFIs was the fact that everybody kept drowning instead of having their multiple minute long bits of breaths. Yeah. So thanks, Bobo. It's, Robert goes and opens up the door to allow everybody out and into the alleyway back to the tower. Everybody goes?
Mm-hmm.
Great. It's not a long walk. You didn't have to go very far. This is kind of your general hideout area here, Betsy. Before Hao and Zania, you suddenly see the door open. Before Ren, Betsy, Ren, Betsy, Celine, Flint, and Robert walk into the door, and they see nothing. As they step inside, they look around.
Ow! Ow!
I was not expecting with the yell hands. I'm sorry.
I use the little sound. I use sending just so each of them hear. Just down on the midsection here, the dome is like it's a little tough to see, but you can pass through it just fine. And let the fairy know I made it so they could pass through as well.
Come on. It's before you suddenly kind of see Flint fade from existence, but then his hand come back out and reach to like, come on.
She flies through.
You all suddenly see the inside of what Hal was described before. As you talk, and Flint says, come on, you see a big, come on, like fly off in words out of his mouth through here. And you can see kind of a opaque, a blurry version of the outside world that you can still see just fine, but you can tell it's a bit magically barriered, seeming to protect you all while you're in here.
Hao has a little pot of tea on the center that's like warmed up with prestidigitation. It's like this like apple and cinnamon tea, and then he's got little apples like lying around in the center if anyone wants. They've got like a little bit of salt on them, and he's already munching and one sipping tea and reading through his book, and he's not really looking up.
How? Hey, how?
Does the slowest like
Yes.
Did you know I could do this?
Yes, I knew you could change
I
the size
didn't.
of people. You didn't know that you could change the size of people when you did it to me.
I've never actually met a fairy.
And how has your visit been with the fairy?
It's a very lovely house. She's very nice.
She interrupts him and she's just like, hey, the fairy has a name, thank you. Like hand on hip. She's like getting
Which you
sappy.
haven't told us yet.
Well, you gotta tell me your names first, sweetheart.
My name is How How. People around here call me How.
Right.
I am Robert.
He goes out, still kind of hyped up on coffee, and reaches and just kind of like grabs your hand and does the like he shakes you. Yeah, exactly. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
And she's like rattled a bit. It's nice to meet you.
Celine, and then Flint's like, Flint, very nice to meet you as well.
Yeah, hair guy. Nice.
And oh, sorry, Ren. I'm Zania. Nice to meet you.
Very pretty cat lady. Nice to meet you.
She blushes a little bit.
Ting. What about you, my fairy friend?
Ren.
Nice to meet you. Well, I'm Betsy. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Betsy.
Hey, Ren. Now that you're small, do you consume souls?
And I'm still on Robert, so I'm just gonna on top of Robert.
Robert kind of picks you up and throws you.
Flick.
You suddenly
in
realize,
the-
much like a mice or a mouse falling off the Empire State Building, you don't actually get hurt because you don't have enough weight to build momentum.
While he's falling from the ground, a little mage hand appears and just catches him. And my mage hand's gonna float around so that like he can like move around the room, almost like he's holding on the fingers and like steering it. So he's got like a little like never-ending story kind of thing. And Hal's just like Hal at this point's a little more comfortable, so he like lifts his mask just like a little bit, and so like he's just like smiling and sipping his tea.
Actually, I wanted to have a quick word with two people. Maybe you could fill everybody in with the rest of the plans, but I wanted to speak to Robert and Celine just kind of on my own for a little bit. I have a proposition for them, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Me?
Everybody, I guess, but yeah, you.
Okay. Flint, Robert kind of looks over like, do you all, kind of questioning, like, do you all know what this is? But since nobody really seems to, he takes Robert and Celine off to the side. But because you're in the bubble, you all see a bunch of whisper, secret, whisper come off between the three of them. You don't actually see the words, but you see whisper, secret fly off between them as they're kind of huddled off to the side, leaving the four of you here to talk and begin your rest. Is there anything that you're wanting to be doing? Or, Betsy, are you kind of just tapping your foot, waiting until they give you the go-ahead to where we can make stuff happen?
Betsy sees you said there are apples in the middle?
Yeah, there's little salted apples and surrounding like a teapot that's warming up right now, and there's
Yeah,
little
she-
teacups.
She flies over to the apples and she's inspecting them. She's like, what's on these?
Salt and caramel.
Salt's on their apples.
Someone who has good taste.
No, you sound a bit salty to me. And she starts snickling and just like flies off.
You know, the more I get to see you, Betsy, the less threatening your demeanor is.
Good. That way I'll sneak up on you later.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Friends in the background flying.
Like a literal spaceship for you to fly around on, very My Favorite Martian-y.
I would imagine Otta probably just trying to chase you around the dome.
Jackie, go like this, because I know what you have in your hand. Yeah, point of inspo.
Boom, 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 boom. She has a tummy ache, so
Aw,
she's
poor little
she
kiddo.
wants hugs.
Can Sam have inspo for Aragorl?
I haven't introduced her yet.
We're
Don't
waiting.
worry. She has a place.
Oh no.
As you are all sitting here, you can gain a short rest, so heal yourself back, gain any spell slots, etc. If you want to get a long rest, you're going to have to devise a way or some excuse in which to have a long rest. But for now, you just have a short rest. As after probably about 10 minutes or so, Flint comes back over with Robert and Celine in tow. And says,
Okay, all right. My daddy always raised me on honesty, and I thought it'd be best to just say it. Just say what I'm thinking. And I don't want to be a bother, right? You obviously have this thing that you need to do for the fairy lady Betsy, as you said. I remember the name. But we did also say that we were going to help me get to my rock show, and I know that the group kind of forgot about that, and I'm not going to be a pest. I don't need everybody, but I am a little afraid to walk on the streets alone right now since, you know, we blew up a bit of the tower and a few people. So Robert and Celine have said that they would take me to the Red Wagon Inn, make sure that my show goes okay, and then I'll come back later, and then you all can go about your thing. Isn't that right? With as he kind of holds his finger guns up like this, he points to Hal and casts a message. Ren, Zania, and Betsy, roll a perception for me.
18.
18.
15.
Okay, you all recognize that in his trying to be sly about it, Flint casts message to do a secret message to Hal, in which case he's saying, yeah, I also am mostly doing this because Robert has very much voiced his opinions that he does not want to do this heist. And so half for you, half for me.
Just responding on the same message, how, like telepathically.
Yeah, I kind of figured Celine and Robert wouldn't be as invested in this. So I understand. This is an opportunity to look for Marcus, though, so we kind of have to.
Totally understand, and I'm not taking them away. I'm going to go do my show, and then if you need them, you have the way to talk to both of them, so you just holler.
Yeah. I'm going to, for the sake of this and for mental well-being,
I'm gonna wipe Robert's name and let Celine know and Robert know that I'm doing this.
Betsy, we're going to be working together, so this is going to be our first test of trust.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hold out my book of shadows and place it on the ground and with a little ink quill, and it has people's names in it.
I just need you to sign your name. It's not a blood pact or anything.
What is this? Is this like when you go to a party and you sign the guest book?
Sure. Something like that.
Okay, you can call me later. Is that what's up? Do you need my number? She like winks at you.
how visibly like smiles because like he can't tell if Betsy actually knows, but this is literally exactly what that is. So Sam knows this is so I can speak to you telepathically.
Okay. So she
Roll an Arcana for me, Betsy, actually.
Oh, okay. Arcana's awesome. I just got a 28.
Yeah, you 100% knew what you were doing when you said that. You've seen spells and tomes like this before. It also lets you know that he dabbles in some maybe more nefarious magics.
Brie, I grew up rough and tough. I know what men like you would like. So she flies down, she grabs the pen, and she writes her name like really pretty and puts a little heart above the Y. like the tail comes out into like a little heart.
Once she does, there's like these super for a moment, like because everyone had this happen, like static of whispers that just race through her head. And then Hal just sends a message.
There we go. Any plane you're in, I can speak to you telepathically.
He winks telepathically.
Don't. The group chat is not for emojis and gifs. Please stop. I don't have enough mobile data for
She
this.
verbally says Kappa.
Monka S.
Yeah. How smiles because like I think now at this point Hal's gotten a beat on just like, okay, sassy fairy, I get what you're about. And he's going to, after she signed the book, like kind of his trade for doing this is he cuts a piece of that salted caramel apple thing and hands it like a smaller piece to her.
At least try it, and if you hate it, you can spit it out wherever.
Okay. She grabs it in her like little tiny hands, and it's the tiniest little crumb. Like to everybody else, this looks like nothing. she like takes a bite, and she's like,
the Squidward, like a Krabby Patty bite, where
like the tiniest bit.
It'll go right to your thighs, and then you'll blow up.
She eats it, and she's just like, "All right, you ain't wrong. I don't know if I like it for myself. I put salt in my melon though. That's actually pretty good. apples. I don't know if it's for me, but I like the
Fair enough.
caramel.
Well, I have assorted fruit, so if you would like fruit or anything while we're sitting waiting, because my friends will need to recoup, then fruit is yours. We have snacks, and we just sit and talk about whatever.
Appreciate that. You won't even know that I took a bite. I don't know if you've seen how small I am, but I'm full very quick.
Fair enough.
Okay then. So that's all fine then. We're good.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you
good.
for the accompaniment. You two, I feel much safer. As Celine and Robert both kind of look like, we've seen what you do and the magic you create. Are you sure you need us? And he's like, they're gonna be after me, man. Look, I don't disguise the do, so yeah, appreciate it. As they're kind of
That's what you
talking.
should.
Yeah. He's like, hey, this is signature. This is a current special. I invented this look. It's gonna be famous one day. You look out for it on music posters.
Got
Look,
it.
you might not like this look, but your kids are gonna love it.
Yeah, exactly. As he goes to open the door and says, thanks everybody. I will see you all another time. Rock on. Before kind of heading on out with Robert and Celine to follow is good.
I'm gonna tell Marcus you blew out his wall.
He leans back in through the door and says, do not do that, little dude. Really, I'm already couch surfing, and Marcus is one of the last couches I have to surf. Please.
Who's Marcus?
What couch?
My brother.
So, I'm gonna catch you about Betsy because, really, there's no harm in telling you this. Our friend here, who, based on the look on your face, you've recognized as a changeling, he has a close brother or friend.
Might as well be brother.
Okay. So very close family brother friend that is powerful in magic. We came to the town to find them because, we've got baggage stuff. And they are currently at this location. I'm assuming you're talking about this gambling den. So going on this little heist of yours, because you getting the chest doesn't really implicate us in any way, also helps us look for this Marcus individual. So this is, to an extent, mutually beneficial.
Be gambling. People always gamble there.
What kind of things are at this gambling den to gamble at? Is this like cards, or is this more...
Yeah, you got cards. Yeah, you got machines if you want them. You got smokes if you into smokes. You can do all kinds of things. You like chit chat. You like a good arf? There's arfs.
Interesting. So this chest that you want to steal, I'm assuming
Yeah.
you know what this is. What's in it?
I mean, it's mine.
Sure. Say it's yours. Then
It
what
is.
are we taking? In this chest, what are we taking?
The whole thing?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, all of it.
What are you keeping inside the box?
All right. So, I don't know if you've put it together yet, Mr. Brainwaves guy. So I tinker. I like to tinker. There's cogwheels in it. There's like maybe some nuts. I got lots of stuff in there, and I just need it so that I can keep building some stuff because I've got ideas. And if you don't help me get my ideas together, I have some friends you don't want to meet.
So you practice artifice.
Yeah. You smart. I like you.
I travel. It's straight smarts. I can't put two and two together. But
Proud of you. Not everybody can.
so you practice artifice and you're interested in this tinker box of sorts. Why was it taken from you?
I'm small, okay? People like to take things from me. And it sucks. You ever been bullied?
I am a drow covered head to toe in tattoos, and I cover my mask daily. I know a thing or two about how crappy people can be, yes.
Get it, so you grew up sad too. Awesome. Great, so we can relate. Yeah, you know, I just people take things from me, and I would really like it back. It's not fair that I don't have it.
You know, I'm going to let you know right here and right now, Betsy. That whole confrontation that was awkward down there, you could have opened with this. So I don't know about Zinnia and Ren, but I'm helping.
Awesome.
I'm steering the mage hand right over How, and then just like doing a nice little, and then landing on How. That was fun. That was real fun.
The mage hand sneaks up from behind Ren and goes, "Ride's not over yet." Doink! But it like appears over on the other side and catches him because it can move 30 feet. And now it's just like throwing him up and down and like catching him up in the air.
Betsy, this act is, of course, offensive to your people. Fairy hunting dates back hundreds of years, and especially
Fine.
fairy tether. What's the tennis where it's the stupid version where it's like the little racket that flies?
Badminton?
Yeah,
Badminton?
badminton. Yeah.
The stupid version.
The cool
Yeah.
version of tennis is table tennis, by the way. Straight ping pong, that's way better. But the bad version is badminton. As
Her kind of not much anymore.
as you all sit here and wait, are you planning all to wait for a long rest, or what's going on? Are you planning to try and head that direction, or are we wanting to discuss the heist and the goings on of that? We've discussed what's in it now, and Betsy's been possibly forthright. What's the
What?
plan here?
What?
It's currently about 2 p.m. Based, when you all woke up, you've been walking around. There's a lot of daylight, quote unquote, left, though it is still storming out. So if you're wanting to do this at night, it may actually behoove you to get a full rest. Or if you're wanting to go in the daytime to the gambling den, then probably best to go soon.
Everybody knows heists are better at night. I'm gonna message How while I'm flinging around. I would like to go to sleep. I have no more spells.
The hand's gonna catch him, and it's gonna like get a little like piece of cloth and like tuck him in.
Betsy, I think because this is a heist, we should do this at night. But we just had the endeavors that took your chests. That was physically taxing on all of us significantly. So if we clam up here, this dome will be here. Give them 8 hours to rest. And what I think is, because you seem like you're spry enough to go, I only need 4 hours. They chill, rest here. And then in 4 hours, when I'm up and at 'em, we go and we at least case the place and then come back when they're ready to go. And then we do a night heist. Does that sound fair to you?
Yeah, you got street smarts. I like you. Yeah, we can do that.
I've stolen a thing or two.
Ooh, sticky
Betsy.
fingers.
Betsy, I have to admit, you are intriguing and super cute and fun. And I think your personality just convinced me that I'm in. I mean, you know what? Stealing sounds kind of bad and it kind of goes against my morals. But I think you've convinced me that it's okay this time around.
Because it's mine.
Right. That to insight check. Do I believe her?
You can go ahead and roll an insight.
Okay. Dice encounters. Oh, okay. That was a 2 plus
Bet-
6, 8.
8. Betsy, you do not have to say if you're rolling a deception or a persuasion, but go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Seven.
17. And I'm doing
No, you
Wait,
don't.
do you
Don't.
want me to
Don't.
tell you?
Don't,
Okay.
don't say. Yeah, that's definitely her chest. You believe the reverence of which she speaks. She knows the contents, obviously. So why wouldn't it be hers?
Of course. I mean, it's only right to take back what's yours anyway. So it means
Can I
getting
roll
it away
insight?
from thieves. Yeah.
Sure.
Can I guidance?
No.
because you're hearing it as she says it.
That's fair.
I'm in. Take back what's yours. Looks like Ren is already knocked out.
Is it coffee? I think it ran right through his little body. If he was bigger, he would have been able to handle it a bit more, I bet.
What happens in a tie? Because I only have a +1, and I got 16.
Rock, paper, scissors.
She had 17 actually, right?
Rock. Wait. Yeah, I had 17.
Oh wait, was it? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah. No, she
Sorry, I
speaks
thought-
with pretty genuine reverence.
Dang, guidance.
Don't come into my alley, punk.
He's in my plots.
Yeah, I'm gonna long rest.
Okay.
Because that's what you do.
Then, Betsy, you join the group here and partake in a long rest. As everyone is healing up, you're letting the day go by. You begin to hear the sounds of the water rushing through slow down, but not stop. It is still raining, but it is not the typhoon that it was before. And while you're in this tower, you actually experience a few times, Betsy, you get to look down and see water rise up very rapidly as if this building was hit by a couple other tidal waves as they described from below. Not quite as fierce as the first ones, but it's definitely a good thing you weren't taking your rest down at the bottom of the tower. And maybe you could probably understand why some of your stuff got washed away. So, you know, it's still their fault that they opened the door, but you at least understand it now as you take a look down at everything. So, yes, by the way, it is better, Sam. As you're all resting, about 2 or 3 hours into it, it's about 5 o'clock. At this point in the city, for how tall the buildings are, it's beginning to be nighttime. Even though there's the clouds up in the air, the sun's set far enough down below the buildings that where you're at in the southern part of the city here, it's dark outside. As you hear a knock on the outside of the tower door. Your tiny hut is no longer in existence, correct? It lasts for 1 hour?
8.
8? Okay.
Yeah, the dome is 8 hours.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was 1 or 8. So you're currently at the top of the dome, in the top of the tower. So if anyone were to open the door and try and walk in, they would suddenly be met by a barrier of force that would prevent them from going through.
Oh no, I'm midway down the staircase, like
Midway down?
on that little yeah, because you
Okay.
described like there was like a platform area, so I set it up there so that like if someone were to just look down, it looks like there's nothing at the bottom of the tower.
Cool. That's why I needed that
That's
clarification.
why like the water comes up, like because it can't pass through the dome, so there's the odd time where we can see underwater and then it goes back down, and that's a neat, fun thing.
Beautiful. I like the flavor. So yes, you all hear a knock on the door above. Betsy, this is strange to you, as you thought this was your hideout. That's why you kept chests down there, right? You didn't even think people knew that they could come to this door. This is odd.
So everybody heard it, right?
Yo, yeah.
So what? You know I told y'all people don't really come here?
Yes.
I don't know who that is. Can Betsy like fly out and like up through a little crevice of the door to like peek and see who it is?
Yeah, you are a fairy, and so can go through 1-inch openings. There's a small keyhole at the bottom. So go ahead and roll me a stealth to see if they see your tiny little head poke out of the keyhole.
19.
19. You're pretty certain that they're not seeing you. However, you see 2 dwarves standing outside with what look to be tool buckets and smithers or masons gear on them. Big, large leather aprons, if they're here, as if they're here to repair something. As one of them sits there waiting on the other one, you hear another knock on the door. Right, hello. The door's open down there. We thought we saw the water rush in. Whose post is this? We're supposed to be coming down to do some repairs. Hello?
She looks back at the dome and she like quickly zooms back in and she's like, so it's mine, but how much longer this thing gonna be hidden? Because you know, if it disappears, they ain't gonna take kindly.
This dome is here for 8 hours.
How long have we been here? Has it
3.
been 8? Oh, never
3
mind.
so
Okay.
far. You're midway through your full rest.
All right, you guys cool with me letting them in? I'd like to get this fixed up so I can put more chests here once we get it back.
Yeah.
Cool?
It's fine. They can pass by the dome, just walk them around it. Just say it's part of it. I don't know.
Got it. Visible dome they might run into. Sorry is nothing, my guys. For sure.
It's there. It's like a rust, like red. Like it looks like it's basically a giant dome that looks like it's made of metal right now. So that's why Hal put it in the center area, so it looks like it's camouflaged in as part of the metal work.
Gotcha. Okay, I didn't understand that part. All right. So she flies back out and she goes to the door, but the door's still closed, of course. She's like, it's mine. What are y'all trying to do right now?
So you're where you can't see them now. You're just talking out on the other side of the door, correct?
Talking through the door.
So you're like, we saw that one of the doors broke from one of the other columns. We're performing routine maintenance. Are you the one who runs this tower here?
Yeah.
All right, well, we didn't hear call for help. Is everything all right?
Well, I mean, there's water going on. Lots of water.
All right, well, let's come down and we'll patch it up. Is
For
the
sure?
door still there?
Is the door still there? I don't know that answer.
No.
Okay. It's not. Did you bring an extra?
You hear kind of a couple dwarvish chuckles. No, lass, we didn't bring no extra door. But we figured we'd at least patch the hole, close it up with cement, maybe rock it up if that's needed, and then we could come back and give you a new door later.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right?
She she goes like into the lock and like unlocks it. Look,
You
and
literally
it like
push up the mechanism and it opens up. As you're familiar with these crews, being that you keep some things in towers like this, as one of the dwarves walks in, he's got these big, kind of very, very heavy leather aprons as he looks over. He's missing an entire eyebrow here, and half of his graying dwarvish hair and his beard is just matted as if he hasn't showered in quite some time. As he looks over and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Honeyvale. I'm sorry. We would have been here much sooner if we would have known this was your tower, ma'am. I'm very... we'll get down there right away."
thanks, appreciate it.
Before it goes
Quick.
rushing down towards... this is new. This isn't part of the actual... Did you put a metal plate here? We're not going to be able to get down.
I mean, you can walk around, can't you? Climb over, do something.
All
Either
right.
you get across, or you're gonna deal with me.
Yes, ma'am. Give me that tool. As he reaches over into one of their tool blocks and pulls out a small, what is like the backside of a claw hammer, and looks down at what you've created to look like a metal dome. As he goes to walk over to it, he looks up as if his option is to get through this metal hull or deal with Betsy Honeyvale. And you can see he chooses to deal with the metal hull as he goes, and he tries to strike into your tiny hut barrier. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is an actual impassable barrier for him, correct?
Yeah, it's unless he has some kind of magic means to dispel it.
Correct.
It is nothing gets through it.
He hits it a few times. You're all able to see him just like looking through glass as he... Okay, ma'am, we'll crawl right over it down to the other stairs. He puts the tool back
She does
on.
this. She's like, go on, do it.
You see him like belly walk and crawl over the top of this smooth dome off to the other side.
Oh yeah, like Hal's on the other side of the dome. Just like when the guy's like hitting the dome, he's just laughing as watching the guy like bounce off. And then
I
when the
imagine
guy's
like
crawling,
on a glass table.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can see
exactly.
his very hairy dwarvish belly rushing across as he slides. But eventually it's a dome. It starts to turn off and he's going forward and you hear like somebody squeaking along glass before he... and the two of them slide and boom, 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 go rolling down the stairs. Their toolbox flies and splatters everywhere. But you don't hear an ow or a you hear a, "Sorry, Miss Honeyvale. Didn't mean to damage your tower any further." You look down and one of them, you can see his pinky is all sorts of the wrong angle as he's fallen. But again, very afraid to do anything that might upset Miss Honeyvale. before you see the other one come over. You can see them that they're whispering, but can't make out what you're doing before the other one down there pops the other one's pinky back into place. You see, we'll get right on that door, ma'am, before they start laying out their tools. And one of them pulls out from his pack a small bag of what looks to be cement-type mix and mortar as they look around and start kind of scraping up bits of the stone floor. And everybody roll me an Arcana check.
While we're doing that, Ren, who is, I think, tucked into Hao's shirt, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in like a little pocket.
Ren rolls over. Honeyfield, that's a nice name for a soul-eating creature. Mm-hmm.
26.
26. 3. Zinnia, Ren. Ren's kind of sleeping.
Yeah, I'm kind of sleeping.
5.
5. Betsy, you know what they're doing. Masons in this town, they often carry powder that is essentially dried. Instead of like the expanding snow, it is an expanding mortar of sorts that helps kind of create temporary barriers, just enough for them to be able to place it and come back later and really fill it up. So they start mixing some of the water. They go outside on the ledge, grab some of the salt water, pouring it up. It's going to take them quite some time, but while y'all are doing your full rest here, you close the door back, and there are 2 mason work dwarves down at the bottom fixing up the hole that you've created down there.
I want to yell at them, like yell at them, not like.
Right.
Hey, what y'all are down there? You happen to see anything, valuable?
They're going to go ahead and take a look around for you. No, ma'am. It's just plugging up the door.
All right. She like in the air kicks like as she's kicking out of the ground, just like dang it.
As they continue to mortar up the hole. You guys are still here for another bit of time. As you're just kind of resting, Betsy, you're working on some of your little mechanics and just practicing and getting ready for any possible roughhousing that you might need to do for the night. But after a series of a few hours, Ren finally awakens and is starting to feel good. You can continue your rest to get a full rest, but I know Hao and Betsy mentioned you may want to stake the place out first, or you can wait until everybody's rested and go all at the same time. It's up to you all.
Yeah, because I've still got 4 hours where they'll need to sleep, so might as well use at least like an hour or so where Betsy and I will go a little early.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah. I'll follow Betsy's direction because Hao doesn't really know where it is. But now that it's dark, Hao's under his mask, his eyes are glowing a little brighter red because he got that devil sight.
Okay. Betsy, Hao asks if you want to go stake it out prior to Ren and Zinnia waking up. As Zinnia, you're still here, though Ren is asleep. You're awake and more just doing light activity than you are sleeping.
Oh, in that case, I will say,
How can you put me on Zinnia?
Yes, I can.
And
Thank-
I'm
thank you.
gonna tuck Ren into Zinnia's like little ponytail, like wrap him up in like a little burrito.
As you do.
Before we settle down, I just go, Ada,
Come on, Otto.
Honeyvale, are you more than, wow, you know what? Are you more than you look? You seem pretty important.
No, don't worry about it. We're friends here, you know?
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't gotta be scared of me.
Just
Everyone
a
else
little,
does.
as long as I don't get on your bad side, right?
You're good.
Okay,
I think you're
great.
pretty, so it's all fine.
She blushes again.
I'm looking at some people are saying, Jakey, if you leave the sphere, it is going to disappear. You would know this because it's your spell that you cast. So that may influence your decision. I'm looking at it here and now, though.
the question is, do we have Jakey?
Okay, he's frozen for other people too, right? I thought it was just me.
He's moving like
Can
every...
you guys hear me?
Can you hear me?
Check your iPad. Make sure it's not doing updates.
Mm-hmm.
We can see in hear you now. You're moving fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it does end if you leave it. Checked it.
Oh, okay. If we lock this place up, though, is that like okay? Because like the dome is here, but this is like her place, right?
Yeah, as far as what you've heard and the context of it, it seems to be. I mean, you could always ask her, but yeah, it seems to be the tower that she's kind of controlling.
Are the dwarves still here?
They are. They're going to be working for some time still. You can lock it up. You're just going to lock the dwarves in there, and they may or may not be appreciative.
Oh, the dwarves are still there. Like after 4 hours, they're still
Oh yeah, they're going to
going?
be working through the night to fix this thing up. They're creating magical stones from nowhere.
Shoot. That changes things. I guess we're not casing the joint.
No, I still need my full rest.
Okay.
But odd question, can my mage hand carry me? Or is it now the size of me mage hand?
No.
Is my mage hand also?
Your magic would still be the same. All magic is the same. So
I can fly.
you can mage hand yourself.
I can stake out this place when I wake up.
So if that's the place, if you're not planning on scouting it out, because you just would tell Betsy, like, yeah, you know what, I was rereading this spell. It doesn't seem like it's going to work. Trying to do my best how. So that may be something that you say, yeah, let's wait for the rest of the crew, but it's up to you all. How do you want to do it?
I telepathically message Betsy just that we will need to stay. If these two are like the dwarves are here. Just in case, don't disturb them.
I telepathically message back. I feel like I'm texting you.
But it's you up.
You up?
The one thing that solidly comes through.
And she says back that I could go out. You'd have to wake up your cat friend, but I could go out of here and talk to them, and distract them if you want to shuffle real quick.
But I'm gonna keep this is all telepathic. So what do we do about them while they're resting? Because they need another 4 hours.
Well, I mean, it'd be turned into a short rest. Not much we can do. I can't carry him. What do you think I am, Godzilla?
Wait, you said, haha, you unintentionally said something. Hal looks over that they're sleeping, and Hal has a little bit of a revelation. And he's going to take his little clay pot.
I can't leave the dome, but I can go with you.
And out of his hood, a little cat head pokes out. And it like kind of blinks around. And the second like it makes eye contact with the fairy, it like hides back in. Hal sighs, and he blows out some smoke. Into the back of his hood, and it tunnels around his head and through his neck, and then feathers start to fall through. There's a sound of like a and a raven flies out from back of Hal's neck. Actually, an owl. We'll make an owl for this one, and I'll mark off the incense and stuff.
Wait, so what just happened? You had a cat, raven, owl, what?
I have a cat just turned into an owl behind my neck, because find familiar, because I have a little pet. So yeah, like this very like dark, like small, like it's still matching the other, like the cat, like this jet black. It would be a great horned owl, but its ears are like a little rounded. And it just like kind of like hops down.
I don't want to burst your bubble on the spell again, but unless this
Okay.
gambling den is within 100 feet of you, as soon as it exits 100 feet, you're not going to be able to see through its eyes.
Do we know how far it is?
It's further. You could have your pet travel with Betsy, learn information, and come back to you and then know everything that it knows. But you can communicate with it telepathically, and in that 100 feet, you can see through its eyes and hear what it has to say.
Honestly, that works for me. I explained to Betsy that it's like while you're at the den, like it's just gonna be there to like help you do things. and it's going to like listen along. But until it's 100 feet of like this space, I won't know exactly everything. But you'll have an owl at your disposal.
She kind of like smirks. She's like, see, you trust me.
While they're both sleeping, How the dome starts to pool with black smoke from How, and he lifts his mask fully, and his eyes are glowing bright red, and it doesn't show who he is.
I trust you, but if you hurt either of them, I will make your life absolute hell.
And then in her mind, she hears lots of whispers, and it's just,
Because I hear everything.
That sucks.
It really does. I
I
care a
feel-
lot about those two.
Yeah, I bet. You probably get all the bad stuff. You know, I bet we could like share stories sometime. I bet you got some good stuff to say, huh?
I have stories. Yeah, I would like a sharing session with you because you're interesting, Betsy. And
Thanks.
I'm sure with whatever
and he points down at the dwarves.
whatever industry this is that you're in, I don't feel like you're someone who likes hurting people. But I could be wrong.
Oh, don't worry. You ain't got nothing to worry about. We're friends.
You
Right?
don't have to say it like it's a question.
Well, I
You can
mean,
just-
you're making me feel uncomfortable now. Like, yeah, you trusting me or not?
I trust you.
Sending your bird with me?
Yes. This
Right.
is my companion who I've had since I was little. Their name is Pickle.
That's a cute name.
Thank you.
Welcome. Now I have a question.
Sure.
Can I ride Pickle?
Pickle does this thing where they look at me, like where they look like no, and then I go,
Yeah, it's fine.
and Pickle does that like little owl walk where their feet are really dumpy. Yeah, basically I just tell Pickle like any command that you give, Pickle's gonna listen.
Cool.
And yeah.
Hey, Jakey,
Mhm.
what voice do you want me to do for Pickle?
Yes.
So Pickle, I've thought a lot about this. Pickle for like the connection with Hal, because it's an owl right now, is more so like transcribing of like the whispers and stuff. So Pickle, whatever is the last whisper that was picked up by How, is like carries Pickle's messages. So if it's like How heard a whisper like in an alleyway where it's just like two people just talking, it would be like one of those people. It's like the voice is constantly changing, as Pickle doesn't really have like their own voice, and that's why Pickle hides all the time, is because like Pickle doesn't have a constant thing, but they can take from others and utilize.
Okay.
So you can see what Pickle is seeing?
I can through a certain distance, yeah. So within 100 feet, I can see exactly what Pickle sees, and then once that 100 feet's done, I can't. But if anything, like past the 100 feet, though, when like Pickle comes back and stuff, like if Pickle disappears, I have a magical connection, so I know that much. But with 100 feet, that's when I have the telepathic. So like if something happened at the Gambling's Den where like Pickle was killed, I wouldn't know how they were killed, but I would know that they died. And then when I resummon Pickle, I would be able to know.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay. Betsy, a small owl, looks at you with a bit of discomfort, knowing that you're about to ride it, even though it pleaded not to.
I look at it and I'm just like, don't worry, I got wings.
You hear whoo before how in your mind you hear a who do you think you are as it flies upwards, and you go on towards the door as you hop onto the back of the owl, and it quickly flies up. It pauses for just a moment at the handle for you to go and undo the lock and let it out. Everybody else looks down at the dwarves as they kind of look up, seeing you disappear off and outside of the door before closing the door behind. Betsy, you know exactly how to get to the Gambler's Den, especially being on an owl that flies. It's a very quick flight from here. It would take you about 2-3 minutes. For others, it's going to be like a mile away, so it would take them time to get there. But with an owl, that's not a big deal, especially flying. Most of the time that it takes time to get somewhere in the city is because of the traffic on the ground, so not a big deal at all. You ride on the back of the owl before you get to the Gambling Den, as it's known, colloquially. It has a name, but that's long since been lost. As you look up, it is on the 50th story of a building in the south side. It in itself stands in stark contrast to a lot of the others around it. It is on the 50th story, the tip of what is all stone buildings below and all wooden buildings above. This is kind of the difference in the poverty line from the below and above this thing. It's got nice bearings that go up, and this building in itself is 2 stories tall, which is rare when it's something built up in this kind of ramshackled style of cairn. As such, it also has a lot of signs written in flame that seem to be continually lit in multiple colors. Almost, you know, like the neon signs where it might show like a pizza like slowly disappearing and stuff like that for like, oh yeah, come here. There's one. This one is written in flames as in front of it. Basically, dollar signs of flames kind of keep swapping to different things as if there is some sort of a casino like mechanism causing them to slowly rotate to advertise that this is a place of gambling. Dollars, yes, it's the sign, international sign for money, even in this world, is still the S with the 2 lines in it because that's international. But, of course, it is still gold, platinum, silver, etc. Of different origins and country. You see the building. There is the main entrance on the front, which has a bouncer out at the very front of the building. It's a very stocky dwarf with arm hair that seems to lead all the way up to as much back hair as he has otherwise, who sits without a shirt, letting a few people in at a time. He also looks down at some of their coin purses and makes sure they have enough money to even enter the facility before he reaches in and takes some coins for his own pleasure before handing it back to him and allowing them to go inside. There are a few other windows around here as well. There's also a back entrance where goods are transported to and from here, but this is its own standalone building. There's no streets. There's simply gangplanks that lead all the way around it and connect to the other nearby buildings to the north, east, south, and west of it. So there's a couple entrances that you could do. There's the windows that are on the 2nd floor and the 1st floor. There's the actual front door, and then there's the back door to the building. What are you wanting to take a look at?
For the sake of the fact that there's a bird with me and it might look weird, let's go to a window.
Okay. 1st or 2nd story?
Let's do 1st story. Start there.
Okay. You have the owl kind of flap up and fly to one of the windowsills on the other side as you begin to take a look inside. Go ahead and roll me a perception.
A 3.
3. As
Nice window.
As it is a humid day, there's a lot of condensation out on the front of this window. You see lots of lights on the inside, some of them seeming to flash rapidly. Others, definitely you can tell there's lots of fires and hearths going on inside this den. However, because of the condensation that's now formed on the inside, you try and wipe it away, but there's nothing you can do to see inside here.
Could
Okay.
the owl also roll perception?
Ooh.
I was gonna say, for the sake of this, and I won't be like cheesy Jakey, but can I play as the owl? But I will treat it as owl of like if they are just like distracted. Or
Go ahead and roll me a perception.
Okay, they have keen sight, so they have advantage. Perception is +3. That's a 16 from Pickle.
Great. The owl
Pickle.
sees a decent amount.
Okay. Pickle does a thing where they look around, and then like the second that like if Betsy looks for any guidance, just feather up and like it starts preening themselves.
As Betsy, you're trying to look inside, it just kind of taps like very quickly, like owls do with its beak on the window, like, what are you doing? Look in there, kind of look. But other than that, it's hard for it to translate what it wants to you.
Okay, it will tell how.
There you go. Dude, I know that like the bird and how we're connected and like everything.
Once the
That's-
bird returns to how, it can tell how a bunch of
No,
things.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
So-
familiar.
All right, so just in her head, she's like, find out later. Can we go to the 2nd story then?
Absolutely. As the owl flips and flies up, it goes on to the northern side of the building here. You can see that most of the curtains are closed. Go ahead and roll me an investigation.
Okay. 16.
16. You find that they're all intentionally shut with kind of blackout light curtains, very thick cloth curtains intended for you to not be able to see inside at all. And so you do find one, however, that has a very, very small gap in between. You might be able to park yourself up and take a look through this little peek between the curtains. It's still closed window, but you might be able to peek through. However, you do also recognize that moving on the outside of it, if there's somebody in there and there's only one hole that provides light from outside, if something moves in front of it, it may alert people inside. They may just see a bird, so that may not matter, but you do take that into consideration.
All right. I want to perch up Owl Boy, and I want to like do it to where I could potentially disguise myself if they peek out.
Mm-hmm.
So like look around, so I can quickly do this if I need
have it
to.
perch up there.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. So it flies up and gets right next to the window. So yeah, both Pickle and Betsy, go ahead and roll me another perception check.
Also, for funsies, I rolled the investigation. Pickle, I didn't realize that's a -4 on intelligence, being an owl, and so that was a -2.
Ooh. Pickle rams right into the window because they cleaned it with Febreze.
Also, that's a nat 20 from Pickle, so 23.
I got an 18.
Both of you look inside. Pickle sees some things. Betsy, you look through the small little hole where the curtains barely open inside there. And you can see there's far less lights here on the second floor. The first floor seems to be where business is done. The second story itself seems to almost be a place where people live, or a more private business. You've never actually been to the second story here. You've only ever been to the first when you've done any sort of gambling. And so this is intriguing. You thought that it was the same thing from the bottom up, but there are far less people and a lot less flash here. As you're looking inside, you do see a silhouette. You can't quite make out people, but you can see a silhouette that is incredibly large. It must be maybe 9 feet tall or so. And then, that makes sense as you look down at the front door. There always was a door that you thought was just a grand entrance, but this seems to cater to very large folk.
Oh, big folk.
Big folk.
Big folk. Way bigger than me.
A tiny.
Is there anybody?
Casino.
Is there anybody out the back door, back entrance?
You can have a Pickle fly around. You can tug on one feather and say like, "Hey, come on!" Before it just kind of flies and does a little circle around, taking a look. There are actually 2 people on the back entrance, where the front is a little bit more public and there's somebody letting people in here. There are 2 people in the back, a dwarf and a Goliath, both sitting towards the back. Both of them having kind of leather vests, though they wear nothing underneath, and just seem sweaty, as if they're very hot, though you don't feel any heat from where you're at here. They almost look like a wrestler who's just been covered in oil to make sure that they can't be grabbed onto very easily, is just how sweaty they are here sitting on the outside of it. Both of them sitting with hair kind of matted down to the top of them.
Gross. Oh my goodness, the rock star guy can give him some hair tips.
Their character, Naked Sasquatch, is actually in the chat, and so they were like, haha, so sweaty, as you just said, give them hair tips.
Perfect. Would it be possible, I would have to leave Owl Friend perched somewhere out of sight, for me to like somehow stealthily get behind them and go like through any cracks or locks or things like that?
Absolutely.
How is it?
So there is a double door on the back. The front door is a similar style, though it's a lot more ornately adorned. There is a big B that seems to be like on the front door, the left half of the B and the right half kind of come together when the door closes itself, right? It's a big B made out of golden, just a big gold bee. It's the best way to describe it. It's made out of gold. It's made out of gold. The back entrance is far less ornate. It just appears to be almost like the back entrance of a alleyway building. There's locks on both sides of the door, so it is still intended to be secure, but it's not intended for people to come through here. The door is actually perched slightly open right now, as if they're venting out or have just come out, possibly on a break.
So like an inch wide, right?
Yeah, probably about 3 or 4, so definitely at least an inch wide. What do you ask, Fairy?
I got this talent. I can like slither on through
Yeah.
little cracks and crevices.
Well, would you like to try and sneakily make your way through the door?
Ooh, I'd like to try.
Right. Why don't we pause there and come back? It is currently 7:55 my time. So let's come back in 7 minutes, 8:02. If you haven't entered the giveaway yet, make sure you do ! Giveaway. The winner of that one will get to directly influence the campaign in some way, shape, or form. We'll be back in 7 minutes. Sound good for everybody? No.
Yeah. Oh.
No.
True. We'll be back in just a minute. BRB. You're about to be gone, Drew.
Comedy. Top tier comedy.
Top tier. If you haven't entered yet, welcome back. Make sure you do the ! Giveaway. By the way, Hayden, hey, welcome. We're about to do the giveaway for the token, the mystery token. So go ahead, Lanta, if you want to go ahead and stop and end that giveaway. It's time for us to reveal the winner of the mystery token.
I hope it's me.
That would be so good, actually. Oh no. Bobo has won the mystery token.
Oh no!
Oh no.
No!
Wait. Who won?
Bobo.
Bobo.
Let's go!
So Bobo,
So scared.
you win a token that at any point in time you can completely restore a character. Not necessarily players. It could be any character. That means spell slots, health, features, a full reset whenever you want to do it. Enemy or otherwise, it's entirely up to you, though it's Bobo, so I know what's going on here. So congratulations, Bobo. You have the restore token. You use it whenever you would like. To team or getting encounter. No, they cannot be dead. They have to still be alive. They have to still be alive and
fun police. Wee woo.
they have to still be alive, and yeah, so that's the only stipulation. But make sure you enter for the next giveaway now for the awesome D&D WoW blue metal dice set. Woo, very shiny. Yeah.
Wow.
But so we're going to continue right back on from where we're at. So Lana, if you want to go ahead and turn that one on. Oh, hey, already did. Fantastic. So congratulations, Bobo. You have the restoration token. With that, Betsy, you were looking to try and sneak your way through and behind these folk. Are you just going to fly behind them and try and go into the door? How are you doing this?
Yeah, that exactly.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a stealth.
I'm so proficient. 24.
24. Okay. As these two men speak and talk back to each other, the dwarf looks over the Goliath and says, "It's just so hot in there sometimes," as he's like picking up a rag and dabbing the sweat off of his face. You can see like bits of grease come off of the back of it. The Goliath doesn't say a word, but just also is kind of dabbing off. And you take this moment of time to quickly zoom back behind and go into the doorway. Being that you are a fairy, you can fit into 1-inch spaces. There's plenty of room here. They left it barely open. They thought they were on guard duty. But in the time that they're currently wiping themselves up with their huge amounts of flop sweat, you take the opportunity to simply go in the back door of the building. As you do so, you are immediately met with the intense heat that they were talking about. You don't even need to roll a perception. As you walk into this room here, you see cages full of exotic animals and monsters. To your right, you see several drakes, blue and red, muzzled and chained to help prevent them from causing any sort of accident. The blue drakes, sparks move off of their muzzles and touch the metal bars around their cages constantly. The red drakes that sit above them in their cages, and these things are, you know, almost horse-sized drakes in these cages. These are very large cages here. The red drakes seem to be constantly spewing out a form of smoke as if they're breathing fire, and you can feel that the heat is coming directly from these two drakes in their cages. Just being near them is hot. Their scales glow an ember red and black from the soot coming off of their smoke that comes out of their muzzles here. On the other side, there are cages full of creatures of which you're not entirely sure. Go ahead and roll me a nature check at disadvantage.
It's not fail, but +5, so 6.
You have absolutely no idea what these are. It seems to be a mangle of vines stuffed into one quite large cage here.
Okay.
There is a
I-
small stairway that leads up to another hallway that exits out from here. Stairway being like 3 steps up that just goes into a hallway, not like actual stairs.
So those are all the creatures?
Yep, there are 5 creatures. The 4 drakes, 2 blue, 2 red, and 1 vine-like creature that's just piled off into one of the corners.
Okay.
Still in a cage, for clarification.
I'm gonna stealthily make my little fly wings go up the stairs.
Okay. As you flutter by, you can hear the drakes kind of hiss at you. They don't seem to like you as you fly on by them. Oh, roll an intimidation.
Okay. Hang on, what is that? I got a dirty 20. She's just like
They're in their muzzles looking at you, and you can see bits of fire kind of pour out to the side as they hiss at you. You just kind of, hey, back to you, as they they swirl up into their corners. They still do the hissing, like, yeah, no, I'm intimidated, but they move to the back of their corners when they do so now. You can tell, not a fan of you and not quite sure what you are before you fly off and into the hallway. This little section here where they're holding these creatures is matted and covered in stone to kind of help keep the creatures in. But as soon as you enter the hallway, you see the familiar look of this gambling den. There seems to be this bright red carpet that lines the floor and wood planking that is stained a very, very dark color with lanterns up in the corners. This is the best description I can give is big, tall shag rug. For you, it'd probably come up about halfway through your waist as you walk through this hallway. You're kind of floating up. There's 2 ways you can go, to the right and to the left. The right leads to a doorway that is currently closed. The left leads out to where you can hear noise that seems to be the main lobby.
how much time has passed?
It took you about 10 minutes to get here. You've been searching for about 20 minutes. It's been about half an hour since you've left the crew.
How many creatures are in this room?
Right now, none. You were currently in a hallway with the door and then the hallway that leads out towards what you can hear and understand to be the main floor. But back in the room you just came from was the 4 drakes and the 1 unknown vine creature.
Because I don't want to do too much without the crew, can I perhaps go back through where I came from, like the back entrance?
Mhm.
Like taking note of the rooms that are before me and the sounds I'm hearing. Can I listen to the 2 guards about like when they're like when they might be going back inside, when like shift changes are happening, or like when there's like a moment where there's dead air for us to potentially get 3 not 3-inch creatures through the door?
Yeah, so you can go ahead and park yourself right next to where the kind of open door is and listen to their conversation. Go ahead and roll me a perception, being that you're indoors, even though the door is slightly open.
Cannot see in this lighting. 16.
16. The dwarf seems to be the talker of the two. The other Goliath that's there doesn't seem to really speak up a word or a turn. But as the dwarf speaks to him, he says, "Hey, glad those drakes are getting out of here tonight. I don't think I can survive that heat any longer. You're from the cold north. There's no way you can be surviving that. Even the blue ones. Makes my hair stand up on my arms. I don't like it. What? Tell you what, those things pale to comparison to putting my hand near that big vine creature, I tell you what. But they'll all be gone tonight. See what else is coming in their place. And then, might even try and see if I can win them myself. You seem to be that there is going to be a shifting of these creatures for another set of creatures, but he doesn't seem to speak about when.
All right, I'm gonna take that information, and I'm gonna get out of the doorway behind them, go straight up to our owl friend.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth at advantage.
Okay. Okay. 27. I had a nat 20.
It's 3 inches wide. That's your wingspan. You literally don't have to touch the door. You just fly up to the owl that's circling before you literally grab onto the back of it, and it kind of startles. You hear it yell, "Who?" You don't know exactly what it's saying, but we do, as the owl suddenly keeps flying around. Where are you wanting this owl to go?
I think I want to go back.
Okay.
I think that's some good information from what I could gather without going too far in.
It doesn't take you too long. You're able to fly right back to where the tower was. As you get back there, we'll say that this was towards the end of their watch, for sake of brevity. You return. There's maybe about 10 or 20 more minutes before Hal would probably want to wake Ren and Zinnia up as you come back in, close the door. But during this time, before all that's happened, Hal, you've been sitting there watching over Ren and Zinnia in this tiny little hut. I need you to roll me a perception check.
Okay. Well, boy, howdy. That's 15 unguided.
15 unguided. The dwarfs were very talkative as they were down here, but as soon as Betsy left, they were very whispery. Enough to where you couldn't hear them from where you're at. You would have had to have left the bubble to get closer to hear them, but they began to speak in hushed tones.
One sec, I'm just curious about something. I can't leave the dome, so I'm gonna make an unseen servant, and it's just gonna stand by them. And right before the spell dissipates, I'm gonna get to come back to me and write in my book what it hears from them.
Give me a second. Let me look on that spell real quick. See if that is possible. I don't see why it wouldn't be, but I do want to make sure.
Oh, it says mindless. Never mind. Just kidding. It says mindless, shapeless. So I guess it wouldn't be able to record information.
Yeah, that's going to be a no for me, dog.
That's fair. Dang, I want to know.
Well, something you can always bring up.
Not much I can do, so I'll just keep on. Yeah, Hal's just kind of farting around at this point.
As you've been waiting for a bit of time, you're thinking it's probably pretty soon that you should wake Ren and Zinnia up before the immediate connection to Pickle hits your mind as you hear the door close above you. As a 200-feet tower, right as the 100-feet location to where you can communicate telepathically with the owl is above you. Betsy seems to be riding the owl back down. The dwarves suddenly speak much louder. You notice, since you had been paying attention, as they say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna put another bit of it there." They're nearing the completion of their work to where they're going to be able to seal this thing off. It'd probably take them another hour or two.
Once the connection is remade again, because I can use sending, so using sending and pickle, basically pickle is going to emote for me, and then it's going to be Hal's voice. But in to Betsy,
Your friends repairing, they're whispering about something below us.
and then once the door opens and they're talking again,
They're definitely covering something up.
She's just
Betsy,
like,
you as you close the door.
yeah. The like door at the top, right? Not the
Yeah, the door at the top.
So do they hear me?
Oh, the door. That's when they start to speak louder. Oh yeah, you gotta put a bit more here. Needs a bit more mortar on this side, and start to try and go back to their work.
Where's Owl?
You're still riding him.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I'll
want to
come with you.
dismount.
Yeah, you hop off and allow Pickle to fly freely. Pickle immediately then flies towards the metal dome and enters to where it lands on your knee, How, as you sit there.
And I want to startle him. I want to zoom down there.
As you
And while they're like focusing in, and like I want to show up between them, but behind their heads, and be like, "What we talking about?"
Sorry, Mrs. Honeyvale. We were just trying to get the last bit of the mortar put up here. It's probably going to take another hour or two. I'm sorry.
he hits his friend on the side of the head there.
He's new. He's a bit slower.
Yeah. So I'm not dumb. I wasn't born yesterday. And unless you want me to light you on fire right here, you should tell me what you were talking about, right?
Ma'am, truly, we are doing nothing but trying to fill up the mortar here. There's a big
Back
hole.
with your chops, but you need to tell me the truth.
Go ahead and roll an insight.
Okay. 17.
17. He looks terrified of you. He was before. He was willing to lie about his broken pinky just to make sure that you were satisfied. You don't think that he would lie to you for fear of his life.
Good.
Do you want it to finish the whole?
How much longer you got?
An hour, 2 tops.
Make it 15 minutes.
It's going to look very bad until we can come back and put a door.
Make it good and do 15 minutes.
Roll an intimidation.
You got it. 16.
You heard Mrs. Honeyvale as he hits like the one that he said is new in the back of the head. Put it on there. We'll make it happen. Just go. Before he literally takes this powdery sand stuff and just throws it up on the side as they start pouring buckets of water, which starts to immediately solidify into mortar as they're kind of like quickly scraping it over, trying to make it flat and look good. You're certain that it's not going to look good on the outside, but it will at least look decent and smooth on the inside here. It still will probably take them the entirety of the 15 minutes, but they are hurrying.
Yeah. Thanks, sweethearts. Come back and do a better job later. But, just give you a break after those 15 minutes.
Thank you, Mrs. Honeyvale. You're very kind, ma'am.
As they continue to work on the mortar.
She flips her hair and she goes, I know. And then she turns around and goes into the...
She flies what looks like up and over the metal to them before dipping down inside. I know, that's enough for Ren, Zinnia. You both wake up at the end of your full rest here. An owl sits on Hao's knee, and Betsy flies her way back down.
Oh, I needed that. Oh man. Ooh, and she like stretches and some cracks from her joints pop.
right when she goes to make some
what?
sound, I'm gonna throw silence in the air just so we're all dead silent because they can hear us through the dome. Because I realized they were sleeping when these guys arrived. So Hal puts 2 and 2 together, and I'm gonna drop silence in the dome just so and I'm going to start speaking telepathically. So we can still speak and stuff back and forth, but now we don't make any sound whatsoever.
As you go to make the sound, the dwarves have noticeably stopped working. As one of them looks up, Zinnia gets out the first bit before how you immediately cast silence in reaction to the first syllable. For one of them looks, did you say something, Miss Honeyvale?
Don't pay attention to anything that I'm saying until you work.
Yes, ma'am. I thought you wanted, before they continue to go on about their work.
Now telepathically with everyone.
So there is 2 individuals with the TD working downstairs patching that up. So what's going to happen is you guys are going to funnel upwards because they can't hear sound through here. Go up through the door because they won't be able to hear that. And then I'm going to be the last to leave, and I'm just going to walk up.
Zinnia goes, okay, got it. Oh, what is this? And she's like, oh,
Rude.
oh,
Hi.
I'm gonna mage hand myself and just pick myself up.
The mage handing loaf of bread. Let's go.
And I'm also, after reading through it, I'm going to minor illusion some fairy wings on my back as well that are.
That's cute.
Everybody roll me a investigation.
Hot damn!
Everyone save Ren, actually. Sorry if you did get a good roll.
Son of a bitch. Because I did.
Betsy, Zinnia, how?
15.
14.
Hot up.
So actually, I think Betsy. So what's your spell save DC, Ren?
15.
So Betsy, you recognize those. You recognize those to not be real fairy wings. Absolutely not. However, Zinnia and How, you're not certain of the capabilities of Ren. You're not sure why he didn't make fairy wings before, but made some fairy wings.
Cool.
Betsy's not
plan?
going to say anything. She's just like, all right, whatever.
This
Mock
is the
me on
greatest day of my life.
She's like,
What are we doing?
Should we go? Do we just hug the wall? And just,
Telepathically, yeah, just you can walk up, make as much noise as you want past this thing, because sound traveling downwards, it makes no noise. They cannot hear past the bubble, and they can't
Got it.
hear in the bubble.
all right. Ren, would you like a ride? Oh no, never mind. You're on your own. Ada.
Don't worry, I got this.
As to Zinnia and How, he's sitting in the hand, but his wings flap very fast. But do you wee on your way out, Ren? I mean, not wee on your way out, but...
Just pissing the
That'd be
whole way
rude.
up the stairs.
That'd be really rude. But yeah, it's a
Little
Okay. As you exit the bubble... Are you alright up there, Miss Honeyvale?
She
I hear other voices. Do you need me to stop?
Sorry, just imagining them hearing wee. She yells. She's like, "No, it's all good. I got it. It's just you have some friends that are peeking through."
Roll a persuasion.
Oh dear Jesus. Okay, I got a 5.
Okay, ma'am. Will do. They seem to believe you and go about their work.
Yeah, I bet they do. Perfect.
Ren, you fly on up to the doorway. Zinnia, you're walking out as well.
Hugging the wall. Sorry.
Hug the wall.
That's good.
Solid classic chip commercial sound. Yeah, as you hug the wall and go all the way up. How? You and Betsy, the last ones in the bubble.
I'm... In case the
This is telepathic again.
In case Tweedledum and Tweedledum are down there, look up. I'm just gonna make pseudo wings so that I am one of your friends. This isn't meant to be offensive. This is to add to your story.
I appreciate that. Kinda.
Fair enough.
And yeah, Hal's gonna walk through the dome, and as he does with minor illusion, just like little like moth wings and little moth antennae come from him, and he's just gonna walk up.
As Hal begins walking up the dome, suddenly fades away. You see the dwarves look up at you, Betsy, before you kind of do like a... They quickly go back to their work. They obviously notice that the dome is now gone and that somebody walked from here, but they are too afraid of you to do anything about it, and they continue their work sealing up the last bit of the hole here.
Am I still there?
Unless you tell me otherwise.
Yeah. So I notice them look back, and I just be like, magic.
Yes, magic, ma'am. As they continue on to their stonemasonry work. You all are up now at the doorway. If you want to leave, you absolutely can. Leave these dwarves here to finish their work. Whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah.
Okay. You all exit the door, close it behind. The rain is minor at this point. There's still like puddles on the floor as you would walk around, except for Betsy and I guess Ren, because you're still flying. But if you're wanting to head to the den, Betsy, you can absolutely lead them that way.
Yeah, so I first off fill them in on what I've seen, tell them about the drake, some vine critter, and that I'm not entirely sure when there might be a way for us to get through, but if they're willing to do like a silent fight, you know, do a little dart throw or something at somebody's throat, we can get on through.
Zinnia, roll me a history check.
Uh, 17.
Sounds good. You can't think of anything that might aid you in this situation, so on you go. Everybody headed to the gambling den?
So, we want to sneak in through the back, or are we going into the den proper?
Well, if you go through the front, you're gonna have to cough up some gold. They ain't gonna let any poor man in.
Yeah, due to recent purchases, I am now a poor man.
Like most of this city, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all good. That was mean.
How, as you're talking, Pickle does remind you that they saw some things.
Oh yeah, I guess once I get that telepathic link, I'm gonna get Pickle to hop up on my shoulder and then just like pop into the little spot in the hood. And what sneaky little whispers do I get from? It was like in a 17 and a nat 20 or something.
Yeah. As they begin to describe, since the last things they heard were in Dwarvish, they speak just like the dwarves you saw, which means I'm only doing Dwarvish tonight.
Sounds good.
Yeah. They say, well, no, I saw into the first floor. Inside of there, quite a bit of goods. There was coin to be laid out at every table, card games to be played, some mechanisms of which I'd never seen before, spitting out pure gold coins by the dozen. And then up on the top floor, there's a man, large as a statue he was, seeming to be bare chest, with big, long golden chains that wrapped around his neck. Walking around, taking a look at various inventory on the second floor. He wasn't alone. There was someone that I could see on the other side on the couch speaking to him, but I couldn't work out what they were saying, as glass was quite thick.
How? Because you need it if we're having a heist episode. As they're walking with the description from Pickle, Hal rotates in his fingers as minor illusion blueprints appear. A 3D map of the gambling den.
So you can see a bit from the windows in which the owl looked into. The bottom floor is one large open floor. There's a few specific areas where there's like booths where people may be exchanging money for chips, for card games, etc. There's a few kind of desks in which similar manners are done. There's a bar at the back where fine liquors are dispensed. Again, a big shag rug carpet on the side with what looks to be, it's wood, but it looks more like vinyl walling on the side with very many colored continual flame lanterns on the side. Most of them in a bright orange that doesn't look like a natural fire. It makes, Sam, the back kind of glowy blinking lights that you have, that kind of LED orange. It's unnatural within the lanterns.
The fairy lights.
Yeah, the fairy
obviously.
lights. Fairy lights. The
a little
upstairs, they only
gamer
could
light.
see that one room that they were in, and it was quite small. You could tell that there was a lot missing from the upstairs that you didn't quite get to see.
Is that from the owl?
Yeah,
Like,
that's from the
still-
owl.
Oh, okay. So, you know, I didn't have much luck seeing things through the first floor, but you know, my little tiny eyes got to see through a little tiny crack, and there was a figure. About it though. It looked like a place where people kind of live. I don't know if it's valuable or not, but could be a place where the drunkards go rest.
I think it's where
And Hal's gonna make an illusion inside of his illusion, like just like a little model of this like muscular big chain person.
could be this person. Pickle spotted them, so that could be the shaded individual, whoever that may be.
Betsy, go ahead and roll me a history check.
Oh, 10. Did it not go through?
Oh no, I was like,
10.
don't have to give him an answer if I never speak. 10. You've never heard of this individual based on the description that you're seeing with the minor illusion that was given to you. Is large, looks like a Goliath, but you've never seen that person within the den.
I mean, I've seen a Goliath on the outside.
Like
Yeah.
one of the Cards.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's walking with the chatty dwarf. He didn't say much. Actually, I think he
Interesting.
just kind of grunted.
So there's two guards in the back that you've described. Whoever this individual is pacing the floor, which something tells me they might be a higher up. Where is the chest that you're looking for?
That's a good question. I didn't get that far in.
Hal does exactly what I just did.
So
There's a door on the inside though. Like I went through the back and there's these drakes, you know, and they chicken somewhere, right? And there's like some vine critter. And then I just went up these little steps, and then there's this hallway. And to the right, right? It was the right. There's a door.
Yeah, this is right.
Yeah, to the right. There's a door. And I don't remember what was to the left. There was something to the left.
So method. That's crazy.
Yeah. Wow. But that's about it. You know, I didn't want to get too far because if I find a chest, but I get into some hot water, what am I supposed to do?
fair enough. So, Ren, Zania, what do you guys think? How do we go about this?
Sorry, I'm like looking at my spells. Man, there's no way we can get as small as you two, huh?
Mm,
So Ren flies upside down in front of Zania's face.
God.
That's awesome.
That was so good, so quick.
And
You were prepped for that for a while.
I can reduce you,
Oh.
but
Bye.
you're gonna still be tall, but you're gonna be like 3 foot or something.
Oh
Betsy
no.
turns her head. She's like, what?
I mean, as long as I'm in the front of the casino and stuff and close, like, playing slots at the back, I can send Pickle with you guys and have full communication in sight. I just sit at a slot table and just every so often pull on the machine and whatever. Then I can hear and see, and then I've got eyes on the main floor and on you guys.
Hmm.
Now I'm cool with that.
I mean, I never like splitting us up, but it's what we have to do.
I mean, it's not ideal, but
How much was it to get in? Can we just like, I don't know.
I think it's you have to show you have money to gamble. It's not a matter of
Oh.
like paying to get in. That's what was mentioned. I think. Did Sam see like money go into hands?
A bouncer took a coin, but it seemed like he was doing that of his own volition.
Mm.
Ew.
I got this.
And Ren's gonna fly into Hao's pouch. And in there, I'm gonna take out 6 platinum pieces and then fly back out. Like leaving 6 platinum pieces inside of your pouch
He takes
and then flying out of your pouch.
You take the rest of them?
I still have all the ones that I had from before.
He, like, dropped them
I
in
gotcha,
for
I
me.
gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was confused.
Yeah. How it's just like nice. How's gonna sneak into an alleyway where people aren't looking? Because I haven't used these. How has nice clothing that I haven't. He's been wearing his ratty stuff. How does the whole thing like comes around the corner? He's wearing like a little like suit vest with like the rolled up like white sleeves, purple tie. And How has a different mask on.
Are you wearing
where
like
it's
a reverse Night at the Roxbury for description?
kind of yeah, like
Beautiful.
like
Damn.
just like very like it's like I actually no probably not a white shirt but like a black shirt, like long pointed shoes, like faded like almost silvery purple pinstripes down the whole thing, and Hal's mask is instead of like his usual like silly like changes expressions mask, he's wearing a mask that looks like an Oni face, but it's got like jade inlay and different like pearl and things inset on it, but you can see the lower half of his jaw through it.
How quickly goes over to the side of the alleyway that you're in and changes over to much finer looking attire and magics up the rest of himself to where How looks quite literally like a high roller ready to go to a gambling den.
What
Damn.
about Zinnia? Like, she can't be seen.
Oh wait,
she
I
has
have-
the scroll and she can shrink with
couple
you.
more scrolls. Also, How you clean up really nicely.
I know.
Oh, damn!
I try.
I use prestidigitation to like just so I just like sparkle a little bit.
As you flick the bottom part of the suit open, a few purple sparkles fly offwards.
Betsy goes, ooh, drama.
So, what are we doing?
It's a heist. It's the heist.
It's
Yeah.
Heist movie.
Dun, dun, dun,
Alright.
dun, 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 dun.
So if I get small, you think I can just like hop into some like cart or something that's getting wheeled in, and you're with me, or?
Well, technically, you're only small for a minute.
Okay, that's not a lot of time.
Yeah,
Do you have
Oh, good.
polymorph, friend?
I do.
Because I mean, it's not great, but that's a whole hour.
Yep. Okay.
It's up to you guys, though.
You have to turn big soon, whatever the mission is. That's my goal.
So even if I do get small, where do we go through? Is there like a staff entrance? Is there like a delivery bay? Is there?
What did you all see, Betsy?
I mean, the gods were talking about an exchange of creatures. So I'm assuming that's a staff entrance.
Okay. Oh. Should I get smaller or should I turn into a creature? No, being a creature will probably put me on the map or something. Never mind.
I mean,
Yeah,
if
don't
you're
do
not
that.
comfortable with shrinking and Ren doesn't want to use spells, you can use your scroll and just disguise with me, and we can both just chill in the main area. while they go through the back. Because I
do
also
that.
have my thunder steps, so I can get us to the back pretty quick.
It is a little bit loud though. Might draw a little of attention.
It draws a little bit of attention, but I mean, if I'm dressed like this, I have to make an entrance.
True. All right. I mean, I'd love to dress up. I don't dress up often. If you don't think it's a waste of a scroll, I know they're kind of expensive.
How cries in being broke.
It's fine.
From behind his mask, just.
All right. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah. I can't
Oh.
wait to see you all dressed up and pretty.
You know what though? Ren is in my ear, and he said he'll use polymorph, but I think we'll just save that for another time.
Zinnia, describe how you are going to look when you use the spell on yourself.
I am kind of throwing back to like the Halloween episode where we were all dressed up, but I'm imagining like a red, like a dark red gown, kind of like nice slits down here and on the sides, on the leg. Probably have a mask too, but more of a masquerade mask, also red. And probably, what else? Heels. Ooh, even taller than I
course.
already am.
Of course.
And a fancy purse in case I need to stuff stuff away and sneak it.
How, as Zinnia and How are going to masquerade as a duo going into the front, if you walk hand in hand, because How, I think you were what, like 5.5 feet? Zinnia stands with heels on a solid 1.5 taller than you as you walk in, and she's
That's fine.
all
That's a perfect couple dynamic. Are
she's
you
all
kidding me?
legs as she
I was gonna
goes
say,
through here.
Strong lady and thin, well-dressed man. What could be better?
Both of you are total smokestacks as you're walking and getting towards the actual gambling den. It is on the 50th floor, so you notice that Betsy begins to start flying up, and the two of you, being that you're the only two not able to fly right now, need to start actually going up 50 flights of stairs and gangplanks that lead upwards, some of which you have to stop and go up ladders, go across rope bridges. There is no direct path that goes up anywhere. You have to kind of keep zigzagging back and forth across these lattices as Betsy, you kind of guide them through, like, okay, go over here, walking problems as you fly up
stairs
and
over
around.
there. I'm like miming through the windows as I go up each one, like, no, not that one, this one.
Exactly. As you all near, you're on the 49th floor at this point. There is a gangplank that goes straight up and leads towards the gambling den from the south side. You see the large two-way door, or the double doors that have the big golden bee on the front of it, the bouncer who's outside, and the 5 or 6 people out front who are getting their coins counted before heading inward.
I have a question. Are
Have an
they
answer.
is the window, are they able to like crank it open?
You might be able to from the inside, and you haven't tried from the outside. Maybe they left it unlocked.
Oh, can I try?
Up to you. Are you with Zinnia and How, or are you and Ren
Yeah, I'm
breaking
on
off
their-
from the group?
I feel like on their level,
Okay.
just kind of like peeking through, like, hello.
So you're going to go to the first floor of the gambling den?
Which are they on the 50th right now, or on 49?
So currently I'm letting you all kind of take a look from the front. There's a literal gangplank that goes from one block of the city to another, where this stack of buildings that goes up, with the 50th and 51st floor being the gambling den. So you're currently on the 49th with this walkway that connects the two buildings from the 49th to the 50th floor.
Okay,
If you want to fly off and go do those things, you can, leaving Zinnia and How here with Ren to follow, whatever you would like to do.
I'll stick with the pack for now.
Okay.
I had a question because someone mentioned it. Zinnia, are you still Zinnia with fancy clothes on, or are you at?
Right. I totally forgot. I'm changing who I. Oh, shut up! Now's not the time during this.
Okay, happy to.
Sorry. I love you. Right. I'm probably gonna be a drow as well.
Okay. Sounds good. Then you are not standing mega tall. You're still taller as you are a drow with your heels, but you stand pretty similar height. We'll say you still have the masquerade stuff on. Retcon that yeah, you're the drow that you rode with Hal before on. So similar descriptor to Hal, though your skin is more of a dark gray than Hal's purple. Awesome. So if Betsy and Ren, you want to go with Zinnia and Hal, you absolutely can.
I am.
Oh, nope, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Rin's gonna get up next to Betsy and say, we could be flies on the wall.
I take offense to that. I'm a fairy. Don't call me a fly again.
Fair enough. And Rin like scoots over like 2 inches.
I am like flying at eye level to Zinnia. I'm like, how about a ride in that place?
Badly.
Rin, fly boy, let's get up here. I like dive in. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Pickle's just gonna.
You all
like,
join
be
in on
top of the-
Zinnia's purse.
Pickle's gonna go to the window where Betsy snuck in. So Pickle's gonna be in that area, just kind of like doing owl things, you know, pooping off buildings, having a blast, just until once the doors open, Pickle's gonna join them. But yeah, Pickle's just kind of like standing outside right now.
Yeah, so Pickle's gonna sit on the windowsill above the open kind of back door and fly over while Ren, Betsy, you all fly inside Zinnia's purse, close the kind of top over. Advantage to being small, as Zinnia, you and Hal take a look at the gangplank that leads you up to the entryway to the gambling den. You stand in stark contrast to the other patrons here with your fanciful gown. This is a gambling den. There are not many people in the Ocean's 11 attire that I think we're going for here. However, that doesn't mean you don't just look like the high rollers coming in for the night. There are people in nice dress. There's not many that look like they are scrounging for money here, but there's no nobles or people in date night clothes, right? The fancy opera-esque clothes that you're going for with your masquerade ball and your tuxedo. So, as you two walk up, they take note. Everyone stops and stares at the two drow walking towards the building. The
Zinnia
dwarf
gets uncomfortable. Sorry.
Okay.
Uncomfortable with all the attention. She's just like, she stiffens up. And she's like, oh god.
The six people in line, quite a few half-elves and a few humans turn and look towards you. All of them kind of raise eyebrows. You're not entirely sure what they're looking at, but they keep looking up and down. They like what they see. As the dwarf up front, in all of the hair running up his arm that seems to just turn into his back hair, doesn't give much of a care for the two of you. As you walk up to the front, he ushers you back of the line, drow.
How is going to confidently? So is this the door for the guy at the front of the door?
This is the bouncer at the front of the door, who says back of the line.
How is going to confidently slap 2 gold pieces into his hand and take Zinnia by the arm and just walk past him? No eye contact.
As you go to walk, he puts a hand out in front of your gut before he says, "Enjoy your time, miss." Allowing
I'm
Stops
Zinnia to
me
walk
or
in.
lets her in?
He stops you, Hal, before he shakes the 2 gold coins in his hand. Kind of rubs them together.
I'm not going anywhere without my husband.
He says, "Well, miss, if you'd like, you can join your husband at the back of the line," before he continues to rub the 2 gold coins.
I put 2 more in his palm and say,
Yeah, I can see when I'm being shaken down.
Good eyes on the
keep
drow.
this in mind. And I'm gonna walk past him.
He nods, lets you in. You hear no protests from the people behind in line as the 2 of you walk in. The door opens almost saloon style, where it opens very easily and closes automatically on itself. The scene is very casino. The entirety of the room, there's a thick layer of smoke up at the top. Cigars can be found plentifully. If you would like to pick one up, there's a whole box at each table, opened up in small little bits of mahogany chests. There are ashtrays at the center of each table where many card games are going on. There are these small bits of automata off to the side as well that seem to have these levers and pictures drawn on the front of them. They mimic those similar symbols that you saw out front, some of them with an S with 2 signs on the front of them, some of them with a dragon's head, a number 7, a few cherries, one of them with a symbol that neither of you are quite familiar with. What languages do you two speak?
Common, Elvish, Leonin.
Common, celestial, undercommon.
Okay. Neither of you know what that other symbol is, but there are several of those seats that are in front of those automata, which the best descriptor I can give is very cyberpunk slot machines, right? There's a few roulette tables going on with a few people at those. Most of the people you notice in here working at these facilities are Goliaths. All of them seem to be having kind of rough spun, almost New York 1920s style gangster vests on and long sleeve shirts that are rolled up. Some of them barely able to make it past the first muscle on their arm. These are very large Goliaths, as it were. Some of them a bit more portly than they are tall, which is saying something. They have to be quite wide to be this way. But they all seem to be running the actual sports or gambling or bets that are going on within here in this facility. The customer base, however, is a myriad. There's halflings, there's humans, there's half elves, dwarves. You see a few tieflings off to the side. There's mostly gnomes working on the automaton machines that keep shoveling in gold coins and waiting as sounds kind of ding, 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 and going on. Most of them continuously just go before they put another coin in and slash it down. There are also a few barkeeps. There are 2 tiefling women that seem to be manning the bar off to the side, wearing clothing that can only be best described as looking for tips as you enter the room. What are you all doing?
Zinnia will grab a cigar just because it's there and it's free, and she probably sees other people doing it. So she'll probably take one and then have, I'm assuming someone's there to light it, right, too. So as she grabs one, someone's like standing with a lighter.
Absolutely, because that sounds way better. As someone has one of those little clippers that snips off the end of the cigar, and they light up one matchstick to light up your cigar. How do you join?
Yeah, how like sees Zinnia just like go for it, and how does like this whole like pauses for a minute, self fans, and then he gets one.
As Zinnia, the large Goliath man with slicked hair that goes down to the side. Think the protagonist from Dragon Quest XI, that kind of just straight down, Trunks from Dragon Ball Z type hair, but he's like 9 foot tall and it is very out of place for how large and muscular he is. But he does give you a sly wink and a smile. You can tell for his people and where he's from, he might possibly be very attractive. It depends what you're into. However, as this Goliath seems to be snipping off her cigar, one of the tiefling barkeepers comes from the side and comes over to snip yours off before not lighting up a match. Suddenly a small flame appears before her hand as she gives you a wink and lights up your cigar.
Thank you. And she like inhales way too much in order to get the cigar lit, and she just good. This is good.
Very good. As he kind of escorts you over. Please, table. What would you like?
Husband, what would you like?
Well,
I'm gonna do a quick scan around the room. Where would we fit in like the most? As in like not super high rollers where Howard's gonna cry and go broke, but where like there's tables we could play. Like Howard's just gonna do a quick once over and see like what bets are being placed. For sake of reference, I have 90 gold and I would like to not lose it all.
Go ahead and roll me a perception.
Okay, can I guide myself?
Absolutely.
Woohoo! Ooh, 15 plus 2 plus 3, so 19. Wait.
15, 2, 3, 20.
Yes, unnatural, a filthy 20, as Betsy would say.
An absolutely dirty 20.
Disgusting, vile.
No, it's a naughty 20.
A naughty 20. That's a naughty 20 you got there.
It's naughty.
As you look around, there's quite a few games going on. If you're trying to keep some of your money, you recommend not going to what appears to be like the poker table at the very back of the room. However, there are quite a few roulette tables going on. You could go to some of the automata off to the side, and there are a couple of games of the equivalent of craps going on. And then there's also a game of liar's dice going on.
Ooh. How sees liar's dice, and while he walks up, he's gonna roll his copper piece between his fingers. I'm gonna cast detect thoughts, and I'm gonna start gambling with these guys because I get the cursory thoughts of everyone around me.
So as Zinnia goes, husband, where would you like to go? You just don't even wait. You walk over to where the liar's dice table is.
How does the like inhales with the cigarette and just like exhales to the sides of his cheeks and like just like that nonverbal like eyebrow thing of like I know exactly where we're going. And as he exhales through his ears, like the smoke twirls around and just billows past his head. As I cast detect thoughts. So yeah, I can hear the surface level thoughts of everyone around me for the next minute.
I need you to roll a sleight of hand.
I will do that.
Are there like hors d'oeuvres or drinks being passed around too?
There are hard liquors being served at the bar. You don't see much food here.
Okay. Oh, at the bar. Alrighty.
Can I guide myself to make this more stupid? Because it's currently a 24.
I would say no, because that's also part of casting another spell, but 24 is
That's
very
fair.
good.
Yeah. 18 plus 6.
Okay. So, as you shoot out smoke out the side, you walk over confidently to the liar's dice table where Zinnia looks back to the very large Goliath and just kind of and follows over to the table. There are a few people playing on this table, some that appear to be house players, and then some that appear to be occupants, just like yourself. If you would like to try and join in on any of these games with some of the house players or with the occupants, you absolutely may do so as you quickly snap your fingers underneath the smoke of your cigar and begin hearing the surface thoughts of everyone around you. You hear some absolutely vile thoughts towards both you and Zinnia from the various creatures within the room as you are both dressed impeccably.
How, like, doing his best to ignore it all, but actually, no, how would we good at ignoring this because of the Viz Whispers thing?
Yeah.
I just realized that. I was like, ooh, no. But
Welcome
yeah,
to the internet.
Yeah, welcome to the internet. Oh God, there's so many waifu pillow drawings of me. Oh. But yeah, so How is just gonna pop up wherever he can play and just try and get in on the action. Yeah.
Betsy and Ren, you feel yourselves finally stopped in movement as Zinnia and Hao sit in on one of the tables. This could be your cue to get up and leave, or you could observe for a moment.
Hey, Rin.
How fucked are we?
You know, I don't think it's too bad. You wanna listen for a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Let's listen.
Okay. Zinnia, you and Hao sit down as the house liar's dice player seems to be quite busy with somebody. You see two other patrons look over at you two and stand up and take the chair opposite yours. Two Triton men sit across with scales going up, their blue skin and kind of pink gills underneath their neck, and the skin that is underneath their scales sit across from you with vests and scars along their scales. They sit down, and as they do so, their fins kind of puff up and move outwards as they breathe in. You can see one of them take a drag from a cigar before out their gills comes a heavy amount of smoke. So one of them looks down at you and says, "Either of you play?"
I just like to watch my husband play. This is my husband. Husband.
I am husband.
And
I do
I'm
like that
just
finger
his
wiggle.
arm candy and his good luck charm.
Roll a persuasion.
Oh no. Natural 20.
Yeah, she is.
As you, I'm just his arm candy and his good luck charm. They both look to each other and they say,
I can see that. Well, then you want to play some liar's dice, sir.
Yes. Yes, I do. And I take another drag of my cigar confidently.
As they both set their cigars down on one of the nearby ashtrays, a heavy amount of smoke pours out the gills on the side. As the first one, who has a kind of a rip in the top of their, what is fin that kind of goes down the front of their face. His shark-like black eyes are contrast to his bright blue skin as he sits here on this mahogany table across from you. Says, all right, then I say we ante up. How much are you looking to bet? I see you
how much-
have a lot of coin as he looks at your outfit.
How much are people, like, have I seen betting already? Like, because I don't want to do the whole thing of, like, I'm all in, and suddenly this guy's like, well, cool, I have $5 in a granola bar.
You've seen them bet around the tables in magnitudes of gold, so people are definitely betting gold here. Liar's dice, you look over at the house, they seem to be betting in increments of 5, but he does look you up and down and assumes that you have a lot of gold. He says that out loud.
I'll flick a platinum. We'll start at 10.
Down at the platinum lands on the table. You, with the surface thoughts of the two of them, he looks and says, easy, Mark, before he lays down a platinum and slides it across to you as well. All right, Jakey.
What's up?
I need you to do your best honesty here, as there is no
Okay.
lying in liar's dice unless you do some extra magic. What
I
we're
am
going to
do this.
do you know how it works?
I don't, so I'm excited.
So, liar's dice, we both roll a d20, right? And
Okay.
we both say, so for example, I roll a d20 and it rolls a 4. I would cover it up and I would say 4. If you agree, you think I'm not lying, you say okay. If you think I'm lying to you, you say that I'm lying. If I show you that I wasn't lying, you lose, I take your money.
Interesting.
If I am not lying and you say I'm not, nothing happens. We continue until somebody loses. Whoever rolls first is going to be the one that the other person will have to do the guessing. But we both roll at the same time. If you get mine right, then I have to guess yours.
So, so with the fact that I can hear his surface thoughts, once I see what, like, because the second he looks at the die, he's going to think about what it is. So really all I have to do is lie about my die, right?
Correct. So we're going to go you first and then him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So roll your d20, and this is honesty session. What'd you get?
Oh, so I go first?
Yeah. What's your number?
9.
Bullshit.
Oh, my thing's going to cover. It's a 9, but yeah, no, there it is.
He flicks you the platinum. Surface
No
thought.
cap, let's go.
Surface thought is lucky first shot. Corey, he looks down at you and says, again?
I slide back his platinum and my platinum. Love to.
As soon as he wins, I pat his arm or his shoulder and I like rub it. Told you.
For he puts out 2 platinum as well and looks over at you. This time he's going to go first.
Okay. So with the tech thoughts, what
You
did
still
he
need
get?
to roll just in case, but you're obviously
yes,
going to get
yes.
it right.
Okay. Or like, do I have to roll?
You're going to guess his. He's going to say 9.
And what was his surface thought when he rolled his die and
4.
looked at it?
Bullshit.
He holds up his die. You immediately think and hear his surface thought, fuck, as he flips it around, but you see a 9 as you hear his surface thoughts that he's going to swap it around. Roll a perception, Zania and How.
Can I take this time to crawl my way out of the purse?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where is
Ren,
the location of the purse? Is it like hanging on a chair? Is it on the floor?
where is
It's
it?
like on my shoulder. Yeah.
Is it like a short bag or is it long enough to where it's at like table level so where they can't see me crawling
Yeah.
out?
Long enough.
So
Okay.
they
long
at the
they get.
table would not be able to see you cry out, but I still need a stealth to make sure other people
'Kay.
do not see you.
19, by the way, for perception.
Okay, and Zinnia.
25.
How? You're not sure how he does it,
The man's alive.
but his thought was that it was 4, and you suddenly see a 9. Did you read it wrong? Zinnia, you saw him very quickly as he picked up the die. He drops the second one out from his palm and shows the 9.
Excuse me? Can I see your hand? Can you just, like, high five me really quickly?
What do you mean?
I just don't think you, are telling the truth.
Are you accusing me? And he starts to stand up and puts his hands on the table of cheating. Betsy, if you're leaving, I'm going to go ahead and need the stealth roll from you. And Ren, are you staying in or leaving?
I got 26.
I would
26.
follow Betsy's cue.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a stealth roll for you as well.
Also, the second, like, his... so wait, when he put his hands down, wouldn't we hear the sound of, like, dice clacking or something?
I mean, he puts his knuckle down on the table. You wouldn't hear
I
dice
just
if
wanna
it's in his hand.
I just want to see your hand. Is that so much to ask?
Yes, it is. You're accusing me of cheating. What'd you get, Ren?
I never existed. I am a blur in space and time.
Nat 20?
I am the natural 20.
Betsy, you're like, okay, I'm going to sneak out of here. You look back to get Ren to follow you, but you look back and he's gone before you hear a psst, and you look forward and you're like, oh, he's pretty quick.
But, like, I think in the purse there's, like, a thing of lint, and Ren just goes... swims it into the lint.
yeah,
Yeah,
so,
once... Oh, after you.
so he puts his arms down in a show of intimidation. You accusing me of cheating?
You don't have to be so defensive if you're not cheating.
I
I'll
do.
open my palms if you open yours.
Fine. Go ahead and roll me a perception, both of you again.
Okay, that's still good. That's still good. 22. Plus 6 to perception.
22 as well. I have. It doesn't really matter because it was a 19. But what I with this case, because I'm watching him, what he's doing, like his surface thoughts right now are I've been caught. Is that a fair assessment?
His surface thoughts are I've been thought. I'm going to flick this behind my back.
Okay.
As you both quickly see in a blur, in an instant, he does this a lot. He must sucker people all of the time. He flicks it on. Because of the shag rug carpet, you wouldn't even be able to hear it hit the floor. But as it flies behind his arm, you see just the faint hint of the dice fly behind his hand before he holds it up and says, there. Are you
While
happy
he
now?
does that, I'm gonna have my mage hand catch the die because I know it's there, like with my thoughts, and the mage hand is just gonna drop it in front of him.
I don't like being lied to.
You just hear shit, 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 shit over in his head.
And so I stand up and do exactly what he did.
So, I come here for an honest game, a luxury evening with my partner. I come here assuming that you are someone who enjoys the finer things potentially. You don't seem like scum, but you have proven to me in 5 seconds you are. So you're going to add to the pot. And when I tell you to stop, that is when you will stop. And I won't notify the people here that you are cheating and swindling. Is that clear?
Roll intimidation.
Do I have advantage?
You have regular. If Zinnia wants to help you, you can.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Tell the Russian gambling den people that their people are swindling people. Oh no!
Wait, do I get guidance by Siniak?
I'm imagining me spamming it. I mean, you know.
Okay.
Just
And you go brrr.
So that's a 16 plus 4 from guidance. That's a 20 into a 27. Does this guy defecate?
This guy is a hardened thug. He does this often. He comes to this location. You are in his territory. But you have called him out. And as you're being very loud in your intimidation, a lot of eyes are on you right here, right now. As he looks around,
You can tell he wants to throw a punch at you. However, his other friend pats him on the arm and says, "Thanks for the games. Why don't you keep the platinum before they slide the 2 over on your side?"
I scoop it and place it in my partner's purse. Rise, take her arm,
Yes, those games were very educational.
and we're gonna go to another game.
What game
And
are you
I-
gonna... Oh, God.
Inhale and blow smoke in their face.
Is that a carrot? What do you have?
Oh, it's lipstick.
Oh, okay. I was like, it looks kind of like a cigar.
USB, my little USB cigar.
Yeah.
I like Sania, see?
Yeah,
See?
it just looks good.
Oh, wait, wait. I'll take my little Starbucks straw there. Now I've got one of these, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, I've got a 1.
I'm a gambling man, see?
Zinnia, and how you quickly go over to another gambling table. Of the types described, is there another one you want to go to?
All of them after that game. I'm sorry. Jakey is on an emotional high after that. That was very good.
Good.
You two head over to a roulette table and try your luck there, as we're going to go to Betsy and Ren. The two of you are underneath the table. The 2 Triton folk that were there at the gambling table, you can see them kind of argue between each other before they walk off and head out of the establishment, not wanting to risk this further for the night. You're very small. The shag rug, again, goes about halfway up your waist at this point. Where are the 2 of you trying to head?
Quick question for Ren's character. Are you able to fly right now?
Mhm.
Oh. Okay.
Invisible mage hand.
Nobody can see that, right? You're just literally levitating. Anyway.
Yeah.
Is there a range for that?
It's going to be next to him continuously because it's holding him up.
Yeah.
All right. We're like down in the shag rug.
You're
Like,
like
you know,
going through the weeds at this point, basically.
We're
Yeah.
like crawling through army crawling. I look at him and I'm just like, so while they're playing some games, how you feel about us flying around trying to look for this chest?
Okay.
You're so easy to work with. I like you. I won't eat your soul today.
Yay. Very concerned.
So I want us to get to like a corner of a wall, so that everybody like in the middle is doing their thing, and fly up there to get a bird's eye.
Okay. So with your stealth, it's not a problem. You sneak between a few people's legs that are walking between some of the tieflings, going over and dropping off drinks at several of the tables. What seems to be the floor boss, I think is the proper casino term. I can't remember. It seems to be going back and forth between some of the tables, making sure nobody's doing anything terribly illegal. As you all get over to the corner, you can see, before you fly upwards, there is a hallway that leads to the back end of the building, which has to at least go towards the other door that you came in from originally, and another closed door that's in the very center of the wall on the back side. The
Is that
hallway,
the hallway I saw?
possibly, you don't know. You'd have to get over there to be able to see a little bit better. But if you want to fly upwards, doing so, is both of you just going to fly up towards like the ceiling to try and be out of view and fly around?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, I am.
So, Ren, you following?
Oh yeah.
Pit
Pretty
boss,
much
not
wherever
floor
she
boss.
goes, I'm going.
That's it.
But
As
I would also, while I'm flying around, I would like to be looking out to see if I see Marcus.
Okay. As the 2 of you fly up there, I need 2 things from you. I need you to roll a perception for me.
5. Great.
A naughty 20.
A very naughty 20. As
Absolutely filthy.
Oh, let's see.
a randy
worst.
20. As Betsy, the smoke is just kind of in your eyes. The second thing I need the 2 of you to do is roll a constitution save. As was described, the ceiling is thick with the smoke of so many cigars inside of here.
This is like the Ant-Man thing where they're fighting on the rail set. They're flying through this whole packed place and they're like, oh, it's like a war zone up here. But we all just see.
I got a 17.
17.
24.
You
Ooh.
inhale some of the smoke, and when it's involuntarily, you have to stymie yourself from coughing, giving yourself away, but the two of you do hold the coughs in as you fly around. Betsy, the smoke is just too much for you. You just can't see through it. However, Ren, you've also lived in seedy places before. You are familiar. You're able to look around. You do not see your friend in here. However, this is only one floor. You see the doorway that is on the back, the what would be north side wall, and on the edge, like the northeastern wall, there is a hallway that leads back that must go behind and around whatever room is back here on the north wall. Where are you two headed?
Looks like a good sketchy place to go check out.
I can't really see very far, honestly. So, you want to lead the way?
Got you.
Like we like hold very little tiny hands.
Are you headed?
Stop!
Oh, it's been 35 episodes in the making, and I hate it.
That's us.
Prop comedy, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you watch the Red Wagon Inn.
We are the new Whose Line Is It Anyway?
The points don't matter. Actually, they do.
They do. In this one, they do.
They do.
Ren, are you leading Betsy to the hallway, to the door? Where are you going?
To the sketchy hallway.
Okay. As you fly over to the side, you see there are two people that seem to be on guard duty here in this hallway. With your current stealth score, not having to cough up at the top, none of them are looking up at you in the smoky ceiling. However, there are two dwarvish men down here that have knives and wabajaks on their side, seeming to prevent anyone from coming back down into this hallway. The hallway's quite long, about 30 feet or so, so whatever that room was that came from the door must have been quite large. But you could go down that hallway before it turns off to the left. The hallway ends in a stone wall. Betsy, you do recognize that stone to be a similar stone from before, so you're pretty certain that this hallway leads to that room with the creatures.
Okay.
So whenever I was here last time, that's the door that I didn't go through. I turned from here. But you see that opening? There's drakes in there. 4 of them. Don't worry, they chicken. They ain't got nothing up.
I'm honestly not as worried about the drakes as I am you, but all right.
I told you I won't eat you so this time.
It's this time.
Okay.
Just like floating through air, but just like, just like kicking the legs.
As the hand holds you upwards, the other two, like just kind of swim through the air. So you two get down to the end of the hallway. You see the stone wall on what would be the north side of the building. You see that similar door that you saw on now what would be the northwestern part of the building and the hallway, which you can hear the gambling going on from the other side. This is the exact hallway you went before, and there are the 3 steps that lead down and a kind of archway that leads to where the creatures are. Where would you like to go? To the creatures, or you can go further across to the closed door?
I think that since we already know what's in that room, we should go to the other room.
Does Ren have the with their shrinkage, do they have like the same can fit into 1-inch areas? Do they take on that from the fairy?
So they wouldn't take it on, but correct me if I'm wrong, Ren. Changelings used to be the only thing that could do that, like slip into a 1-inch space. Is that something 5e they still allow?
They used to, but they nerfed the changelings a lot, so it isn't probably a thing that.
That's not what I'm seeing here. So
changelings rules are they use polymorph on themselves, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
No.
Oh, I thought it was a polymorph thing. That was
no, they just can swap to.
Now what I can do is reduce myself while already in fairy size and become half the size of Betsy.
So you could be 1.5 inches tall.
Yeah, I could probably squeeze in anywhere.
You just have to duck your head. You're fine. Just duck.
Whack.
Alright, so we thoom through the air past Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
They're on the outside of the door still. The dwarf is, however, as you fly on by, you notice that the Goliath seems to be
prepping by throwing over some blankets over those creatures so that they can't see what's going on. They're thick, heavy leather blankets, and again is just dripping in sweat. As Ren, you feel the heat coming out of the room where the drakes are from. But you head on over towards the door. There is a closed doorway with a doorknob, a keyhole. You don't know where it goes.
All right. Can I peek into the keyhole?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me perception. You're not going through, just looking through it, correct?
Looking through. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I got a 12.
12. So on the other side, it's dark, as if there's no light there, but just with the tiny bit of light that you can see coming through the keyhole, and being that you're so small, you can tell that there's stairs on the other side of this door.
I'm gonna like sit in the keyhole and look back at Ren and be like, "Yoo."
Gotcha.
Have him come down there. Can we fit through the keyhole? I'm assuming.
You definitely can. Ren, you'd have to cast Reduce on yourself, and then it may be a tight fit.
I'll reach my little hand through.
An even smaller hand comes through.
You're like grabbing my, which is already so small. I like pull you through.
Ren,
I have a better one for this.
do you cast Reduce?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Betsy, you look as now a very miniature version of fairy that, again, a forest fairy. You're very much a leather jacket Brooklyn fairy, but a forest fairy about half your size. It's interesting to be the large one for once. As you see the pipsqueaks stand before you, they might be able to squeeze their way in, but you could definitely go through the keyhole if you'd like. Who's going in for? Are you going in and then bringing Ren through? Yeah. Okay. As you go through the keyhole, when you're squeezing your way through, you notice a bit too late as you hear a cog turn, as a feather trap was here for if somebody used the wrong key. It goes off. And what is supposed to shock the key and send a huge bolt of electricity up somebody's arm shocks you entirely. I need a Constitution save.
Okay. From both of us or just me?
Just you, because Ren hasn't gone through yet.
Blessed be. Where's my Constitution? I got a 15.
15. Give me 2 seconds.
11 plus 4.
I think that's enough dice. I think you've rolled enough. I think you can stop.
My hair gets fluffy.
Betsy, you take 33 points of lightning damage as you suddenly kind of shock and convulse backwards before you quickly shimmy yourself. Are you going through as you're getting shocked or pushing yourself back out?
I want to through. I want my
It to be worth it, right? Yeah, exactly. You
how
slide
much
your
is
way
it?
through, but you take 33 points of lightning damage.
I'd like to imagine we see like Betsy pushing through, like getting shocked, and then it's just a little bug zapper in the distance.
Ren, you see the bottom of Betsy's boots kind of convulsing as she sneaks her way through the keyhole, and you can smell a bit of burnt hair.
Oh God!
My beautiful hair.
It is definitely poofed up now.
Can I use my armor and disguise self to make myself look beautiful again?
Absolutely. She has armor and glamour, so as she moves out to the other side, she quickly... You go from looking like the woman on Orange is the New Black, who's from like Brooklyn, who's got the really curly blonde hair that's kind of froofy, back to what looks like your kind of art style there, as it's a little bit more tamed.
Yeah,
You flip
imagine
to the
it's
other side.
like The Sims, so they just spin in a circle and they're
Yeah.
back. I just spin in the air and I'm like, ah, there we go.
Top of comment.
Ren, would you like to try and fit through the keyhole?
Sure.
Okay. Not
Only
only
go well.
do I need you... give me a dexterity check. So just using their dexterity modifier.
That's a 5.
As you
EK.
you try and go, okay,
Yeah, I'm dead.
you dive your way through the keyhole, trying to not hit anything on the side. However,
Betsy's able to fit in through 1 inch spaces. You are 1.5 inches tall. You kind of wedge yourself in with your big, thick hips with 3 C's.
Step brother, I'm stuck.
No.
And the bug zapper kills Ren. It's crazy. He's just suddenly dead after he said that. It's so weird.
I need a
It's so
con
weird.
save from you, you animal.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's done.
You degenerate.
TPK, we're all dead. Zinnia and I got our throats slit. Yeah, that was the end. Wow. It's so sorry it had to end on such a high note.
That's a 19, at least.
Bobo, can I use my token to do the opposite to Ren? Was it 19
I
you
diagnosed
said?
you with dead.
19.
Okay. You take 21 points of lightning damage
Oh, God.
as you find yourself stuck in the keyhole. You recognize, by the pin trap that this is, that you have activated it once. A hair trigger. Movement again will activate this one more time.
Betsy, I need to get out of this very quickly or I will explode.
Oh, is he stuck in the lock?
Oh yeah, he's stuck in the keyhole.
He's
And
Winnie
my
the
minute
Pooh. Yeah.
is running out very quickly. I need to get out of this lock.
Oh no.
Gosh.
Oh, thanks, Loki. Concentration check, Ren.
Shit. Okay, I rolled a 19.
You're good.
We-
What are you
You have to
doing?
do it
Betsy,
at
Ren, we do need a quick
advantage.
action because you are going to go big very soon. Or you could try and wiggle yourself through now.
Can I cast reduce on myself twice?
No, purely because you can only concentrate on one.
Shit.
I want to. I want to take out a torch from my bag of holding and reach it through because I don't want anything metal. So hey, grab on, and I'll pull you out. And I'm gonna yank as hard as I can.
Betsy, go ahead and roll me a athletics check to see if you can dislodge Ren from the keyhole.
I have something prepared should this go awry.
We got a 13.
It's a new character.
13.
13. So, your strength accompanies real strength. A 13 strength roll would be the same as a regular person rolling a 13 strength roll. Ren is only 1.5 inches large. You're able to free him. However, Ren, you're going to take a zap from this lock one more time.
Gonna
Go ahead and roll
die.
me another con save.
Glad I used wood.
Gonna die.
No, you're
Oh
fine.
no. It's a 16. I'm scared.
Okay.
You're fine. You're fine. He's fine.
Don't worry about
He's
it.
fine. Don't worry about it.
People don't like Ren anyway. Don't worry about it, right? Right? Just kidding. Ren's like the baby.
Zinnia the headline, excuse you.
Ren is the baby. M joke. As
I'm not done my Ren fanfic. You can't kill him yet. Thank you.
you take 39 points of lightning damage.
I am out. I
As-
am done.
You pull Ren out from the torch. They immediately let go from the torch and fall down to the ground. When they do so, they quickly enlarge back to 3 inches. And correct me if I'm wrong, do you have to be
Oh, yeah,
conscious
no.
to maintain your form?
Oh yeah, no, I'm full changeling right now.
As he falls, he not only falls into the bottom of the stairway, he falls in a large changeling sound, making a loud on the stairs.
Heist movie, let's go.
What are you doing, Betsy?
She's still hovering. She's like,
Bobo's debating to bop you or not.
you okay down there? Big guy.
Waiting for an answer. Ren, I need a death save.
Hello?
Go ahead and roll me a medicine check, Betsy. This is purely to recognize that he's in trouble, not to fix him.
I am in very much trouble. I failed.
I got a 13.
That is a 1 death save to you. He is unconscious and currently dying. You can see his body convulse and seize with the electricity going through his body.
Crap. She's just mumbling to herself. I don't know what to do. I open the door. The Goliath's gonna come in. He's gonna call the toys. They're gonna call their buddies. They're gonna release a Drake on me. I could fly a Drake out. That'd be kind of fun, actually. I just.
As Betsy thinks more, Ren, I need another death save.
That's a 4.
That's another fail. If he fails one more, Ren dies to the lock.
That would be just let me die. This is the best way I could have ever died.
You died via bug zapper, and because your little thickums cheeks. And let it be known, ladies and gentlemen, the last thing that Ren joked about while he was dying was, "Help me, stepbrother, I'm stuck." So, ladies and gentlemen, if Drew did not earn this death, I don't know what did.
So, correct, first of all. But Bobo has said they're using their token on Ren. Are you sure? Is the only question I asked.
Yeah, because honestly, you can use it on anybody. You know what? Hal's feeling a little peckish. He's full of health. You could use it on Hal if you wanted to. I could use a spell slot back. You know?
So Bobo's saying defibrillate that changeling. So happy to do so. Just double checking. In which case, Ren, you were about to get shot back up adrenaline style from Pulp Fiction.
Oh no. Okay, can I just get a confirmation from Bobo?
That's all we're waiting here. As Betsy's like, oh man, what am I gonna do with this body?
I can't do anything. They expect me to carry him out of here. If they come in here, they're gonna kick him. He's probably gonna have some broken ribs before he dies.
I made 30 gold, so I mean, I consider this heist a success.
You literally did some cheating of the cheater, so why not?
Yeah.
Get Bobo from the chat. Yeah, I don't want to risk it. Chat materializes and tells you to walk off. As that, so we have not used one of the tokens as of yet.
Oh yeah.
So, Betsy, as you're deciding, like, oh gosh, somebody may have heard that body hit the floor. Oh, do I need to hide him? What am I gonna do here? Suddenly, as you're looking down, Ren is not alone. Someone in a cloaked figure, covered in words that seem to run down like water off of the purple cloak. You only see the back of them, but they pull up Ren by the scruff of the shirt, slam him up against the wall. Before they put their hand on Ren's eyes, and suddenly a coin comes off of it, as if there was a coin guiding them through the river Styx. Before the creature puts it in his pocket and turns towards you. You cannot see the entirety of its face. It's obscured in the dark. But even in the dark, you see the grin that seems to glow in the blackness. Teeth like a Cheshire cat. As eyes pop up all down its body. Before it seems to fade. And Ren suddenly awakens, very much like you have just been hit with a shot of adrenaline.
Oh God.
Oh, he's back. Okay. So you okay there?
No.
Betsy and Ren, with your passive perception, hear footsteps coming towards the stairs from upstairs.
And I'm gonna go back into the fairy size. Mage hand. And pick myself up. We got to go.
Hey, stairs. Let's go.
Okay.
We Thuman.
As the two of you go up towards the stairs, a tiefling woman in a long purple dress, seeming to be made of silk, rushes over to the side before she sees the two of you, because she's at the top of the stairs, which is where you're headed. Looks down towards you and reaches up, and you see her begin to cast a spell towards you.
Counterspell.
Do you counterspell it?
I do.
Okay. As she pushes up, large bits of golden energy float towards her fingers before, as you're flying, beelining directly towards her, Ren, you quickly pull the magic from her fingertips and it flies off to the ground as she looks over at her hand and back at you. What are the two of you doing?
Flying past. I'll grab Betsy's hand and just haul ass.
As the two of you quickly zoom past her, she will get an opportunity attack, which, because you're small, she's going to try and swat you down like a fly.
Call me a fly!
Let's see. She tries, but seems that magic is in her nature. As you're now at the top of the stairs, you see the hallway that you're in, which leads up from the stairs and leads over. You're almost at like a T intersection where you'd be at one of the tips of the T. Over towards the other side is another door, and then there's a hallway that leads out towards the what is south from where you're at.
I look back and cast Hypnotic Pattern at this woman.
Go for it.
Wait, did I get a look at this woman before I waste a spell? Was she
You want to
elvish?
get a look at her?
Shit. No, we're gonna keep going.
You're just going to cast Hypnotic Pattern or keep going?
No, just gonna ignore that and keep going because I've learned from past mistakes, and you can't charm elvish people.
I did say what she was. She has bright red skin, if that matters.
Tiefling.
Oh. And then Hypnotic Pattern.
Yeah, you definitely see that. So you quickly turn around. Go ahead and let's see. For Hypnotic Pattern, do I need to make a con save? I forget.
Wisdom. Saving throw.
Wisdom. All right.
15.
As you quickly turn towards her, and suddenly, Betsy, you see exiting from Ren's hand a vast array of purple and yellow colors seem to move slowly like clocks in the air before she looks, and her eyes seem to gloss over in a rainbow of colors before she kind of holds herself on the wall, and she seems to fall down the stairs.
After seeing what I just saw with Ren, like some dark figure come up, I'm like, I can take my chances. Let's get out of here. I don't know what magic you doing. But as we fly, I want to keep an eye out for a chest or anything that looks like it would have my goodies.
So there is the door that seems to lead off into the room on the left side. Based on where you had flown around the building before, that was the room you kind of saw a glimpse into. Then down that hallway that leads further south, there's a door that leads into the room on the right side. So what would be looking south, the west. So there are two rooms in this upper area and a hallway that leads down to that second door. The bottom of the T.
Hey, you want to split up?
It's usually a bad idea, but let's do it.
I mean, you know, in case homegirl wakes up, we could do this faster.
How long does Hypnotic Pattern last?
She'll be out for a minute, so yeah.
A minute. Better go quick.
All right, I go left, you go whatever the other direction was.
Right?
Yeah, that one. Or straight, I don't know what it was. Do it. That way.
So
Zoom.
you swap off. Betsy, you go to the closest door, the other end of the capital T. Ren, you rush off to the other side, fly down the hallway on your magical mage hand, and get to the door on the other side. Do you try and enter by opening the door? What are you trying to do? Let's start with Ren.
Yeah. I'll try and open the door.
Okay.
In my miniature self.
You basically sit on the door handle, and in doing so, the door is not locked. Opens up freely.
I poke my head through and
Okay.
see.
You
what's
look
on the other
inside,
side.
floating off and over. Inside here, you see a bevy of chests. A large amount of sacks of gold here on this table. Maps.
I immediately point and say, "Here, it's here, it's here, it's here."
We'll pause. So we'll go over to Betsy. Betsy, you're at the doorway. Before Ren has said anything, you're both rushing for the door. What are you immediately doing to this door?
I'm how big is the crack underneath, like between the floor and the door?
Because it's a shag rug, it has to be about an inch tall.
All right. We
You
army crawl.
Fantastic. You see what looks to be
a magical fake wall within inside this room. As you enter, this appears to be where the boss looks out across the gambling den to make sure that he likes what he sees. So it's essentially a two-way mirror on what would be the south side of this room. In here is a couch where sits an old dwarvish woman with a long dress and a big poofy hat, big feather that swoops off the side, and a very tall Goliath with heavy golden chains that wrap around his neck. He's got a large B on those golden chains, and he smokes a cigar twice the size of those you saw inside the actual floor. This man stands maybe 11 feet tall. He is bald as could be, not a hair on his face. Even his arms and chest and back, no hair in sight. He wears just long pants, almost like leathers, as he sits here speaking to the dwarvish woman. On the table are 2 very fine glasses of some liqueur and a couple of books, seeming to be small like ledgers. Go ahead and roll me a stealth to see if they notice you.
This can only go well.
Hang on, math.
Math is good. Math is good.
24.
24.
It's when you don't need math is when you're in trouble.
I mean, I'm really proficient in it, but I still have to math.
You go into the room and continue to army crawl your way across as you listen to them speak. Ren, you look back and you say, "Here!" You hear no reply.
Oh. Then I'll go back through.
Okay, you go into the room. There are probably there are
Oh, no,
blurriness.
back through, out.
Oh, out
Out of
towards
the room.
her. Okay, do you
Yeah.
close the door behind you? Leave it open?
I leave it slightly ajar.
Okay. You rush back over to where Betsy was to go in the door, and you see a closed door before you.
I point in directions until I can, like, Betsy! Betsy!
Do you cast message?
Yeah. Betsy!
Okay. Roll me D4.
Oh no, I'm gonna cast it on the wrong person. This is bad. Bad news bears. I rolled a 4.
Okay. Betsy, you listen in to their conversation. The old dwarvish woman looks and says, "Aye, but really, how much could one of those even be worth?" "Well, we're trading 2 drakes from the north for it, plus a Marlboro, and 2 drakes from my personal collection. It better be worth the money that you're paying me." Yes. I think it would be. You've never seen a creature like what I'm to bring to you. Yes, and a drink. And he pulls over one of the liqueurs into her hand. It's a clear white liqueur. Let's see. To our continued success. Betsy.
I like dig my face deeper into the shagrag. I'm just like, oh no, what did he do?
You hear in your mind, Ren, a deep, heavy, "Ooh, Betsy." What-
I audibly, like, not like loud, of course, but just like, oh shit.
You begin to hear the tiefling woman who fell down the stairs complain about the thudding in her head.
Go to sleep.
Can I send a? I don't know if I can do it. Is it 2 ways where I can talk to? How?
How has to send you a sending message, unfortunately.
Which, like, we've kind of rolled that I've been, like, sending messages, like, as a regular thing, but I don't know when Rybo would say I'm doing check-ins.
Unless you've specifically said in this heist that, hey, we're doing some check-ins with them. Because honestly, they rolled so high in stealth, Zania might not even be aware that they're out of her purse yet.
That's fair. Then, yeah, okay.
As you hear in your mind back, Ren, "Betsy, who is this?" Do you reply or just leave it?
No, I just
Okay.
leave it. That's not Betsy.
Say in my head, I'm like, well, you know, at least somebody else knows my name. Kind of a big deal.
Ren will whisper though at the door.
The large man, Betsy, you see walk, seemingly unnoticing of you, walks towards the door with its heavy, heavy boot prints.
Can I like roll?
I was gonna say, I need you to roll a dex save to see if you get stomped on.
Easy.
No, I got a nat What, +3? I got a 4.
As the big man goes towards the door, you hear him talk back to the dwarvish woman and says, "Hold a moment," before he walks over. Before Betsy, you go, "No, no, no," before he hears what kind of sounds like and feels like when you step on a cockroach, that kind of crunch you feel. Betsy, being that he is so large and in charge.
Oh no!
Can we GFY Betsy to make her re-roll? She rolled bad. What do you want from this?
You have an inspo, don't you? Maybe?
She does
Hopefully?
start with an inspo if you want one. If you want to use it here.
Roll that
Yeah.
inspo!
Yeah.
Yeah, GFY. Welcome to Red Wagon Inn. And I cancel your inspo out. What did she say?
She got a nat 20!
You rolled a natural 20, but you said you GFY'd
I was gonna say, I don't.
GFYing our guest?
I am. I don't think she heard me say I GFY you. I gotta GFY the guest. She was so nice in the
Ryan's over
guest
here
or
like-
in the in between and said, "By the way, I said Godzilla. I deserve a GFY. I'll take a second one." Sam wants to play the game.
What if I have an extra inspo though from when I did Salt as a recap?
Are you giving up an inspo?
You want to give up your
Extra
double?
inspo. She has
GFY?
2 inspo.
If
She's
it's an
giving up
extra,
her
I'll let you give it away since you have the extra.
Yes. See, it says extra.
I wrote it down.
extra. Read all about it.
Then the nat 20 stands.
Yeah.
As Betsy,
Now
you
I die.
quickly roll out of the way, and he does not hear or feel a cockroach squash beneath his feet.
Crunch.
Instead, he quickly goes towards the door, unlocks it, and opens it. Somebody's saying, "Don't do that to her. That's rude." Sam knew. She even requested to play it properly with the extra GFYs. Mad props to Sam. As the door unlocks, Ren, you hear the door unlocking as you're like, "Ah, Betsy." Before quickly, the big man opens and flings open the door, and he looks out as you are now caught between the tiefling woman who runs up the stairs and looks at you, as does the large Goliath man who looks down at you, standing like a
Do I
tower.
see Betsy?
With your passive perception, no, you don't actually, because Betsy's super stealth right now.
Uh-oh.
Did he see him? The Goliath, does he see Ren?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm
She's
floating,
literally
like, probably
flying
eye
in the air.
level.
Can
As
I?
the tiefling turns around and
Wait.
looks, yeah, what would you like to do?
Yeah. Can I cast Shatter?
On what?
I'm gonna cast it on the rug.
On the floor below you.
Well, I wanna get up. I roll.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you can fly. Yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
wanting to cast it on the floor below you?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and roll the damage for Shatter.
Okay, what is that?
It's like 3d6 or something. It's 3d8.
Okay, yeah.
I thought you were about to be like, I cast Shatter on this guy's kneecaps or something. Don't mess with a fairy.
It's like a loud ringing noise.
That's why Ren
A
is so
painful
terrified
loud
of
ringing
fairies.
noise.
How do you know which number is 6 and which one is 9?
On a
Could have
D8,
a
there should
dot or
only
a
be
line.
a 6.
Oh, I'm so silly. Just kidding. It's a 6. Okay, I got 6 and 8. Another 8.
6, 8, and 8.
So she blows
no.
a hole through
20,
the floor?
correct?
Well, it
That's
it
how the
makes
math do add up. Oh no, 22. I'm dumb. Even better.
it makes a loud ringing noise that's painfully intense from the place that it is in a 10-foot radius sphere. So through the floor, up through the like 10 foot.
So, a few points of interest that are important to note for everyone involved.
We gonna die.
Shatter destroys things. It's very often used to destroy doors, as it was the very last session. Everybody remember?
Yeah.
Does everybody remember earlier when words got 10 GFYs?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Drakes, they're
Oh
free.
no,
The
no,
drakes
no,
are free.
no, no.
Just clarifying. As Hal and Zania, you're in.
What are you doing over there, Dungeon Master? What are you doing?
As Hal and Zania are in a lovely game of roulette. Zania, you think, I should check my purse. Wonder where, see if they're doing okay. Can they breathe? As you undo the clasp, the sound of the clasp, a huge hole blows out not only the floor. I describe this as being close to the window and the side of the building, being that it's a 10-foot radius. You blow out a chunk of the side of the 50th floor of a 200-story building
Yeah.
as a loud goes flying out. Being that you're all in range, first thing I need is deck saves from Betsy, Ren, Zania, and Hal.
Before we roll, can I roll how well we were doing?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Roll me just a d20 for luck.
A flat D20?
Yeah.
It's the Dicey Encounters logo, nat 20.
Zania comes
here's-
over to you and says, like, look, I got a feeling about this. Go double green, go 0, go double 0. And you're like, why would I ever do that? That's the worst bet. She goes, I got a feeling. Okay. You put a platinum down. That pays out 20, or I think it's 26 to 1 in roulette.
Can I be honest? I have it written in my notebook, and I will show you my notes. I was going to use the 30 gold that we made from last one, so the 3 platinum, if that's acceptable. And I have it
Sure.
written down because I put
With
that
the nat
aside as
20?
gambling money.
Absolutely. Since I'm fairly certain it's either 26 to 1 or 36 to 1 for roulette. We're going to say 26 to 1. I could be wrong. So, you now, instead of 3 platinum, have 78 platinum.
My boy.
Big bowling, more scrolls.
Now I need deck saves from everybody. Let's go ahead and
Fair
start with
enough.
Betsy. At advantage for
goes-
Betsy since you cast the spell.
Oh,
Hal's
well, let
about
me
to
roll
raise
again.
his hands, be like, "Hey, we're bringing the house down."
The most well-earned GFY of the show.
I'm so okay with it. Also, I rolled a 5, so that's an 8 total.
So how got an 8? Betsy?
21.
21. Ren?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Zania?
19 plus 1. Dirty 20. Naughty 20.
Naughty.
actually.
A very naughty 20.
Very naughty.
As
Nar-
Betsy,
nar.
Very naughty.
you fly very quickly over to Ren and basically slam him up against the other wall in a way to move him around as the floor explodes. Zania, you're looking down at your purse, so it prevents, you're basically knocked to the ground. But how? You're standing up saying, "We're bringing the house down!" As a huge shattering explosion knocks out the entire eastern wall of this building and the floor on that eastern wall from the 51st floor. As such, you all begin to hear loud creaks of wood and stone from above you.
I can't fix this. I can't fix this. I can't fix
How? You're going to take the full damage. You're going to take 22 points of thunder damage. Everybody else takes 11 points of thunder damage.
Fair and reasonable.
Also, Wikipedia says that the chances are 37 to 1. Or the odds? Payout's 35 to 1. Sorry.
35. Okay, so not 78. Instead, it's 105 platinum.
You did math really fast. How did you do that so fast?
Like man, but either way, I know I like roulette. I'm awful at it, but I love it.
No, you said the wrong thing. Simple math in it, love.
Simple math, isn't it, love?
Isn't it, love?
Wait, hold on.
Oh my God.
What's that? It's Tuesday, isn't it?
It's
Also-
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
How is carrying a net 1,100 gold pieces? Let's go. We going shopping later if we live.
As how you are not only hit by this, you are knocked to the edge of the hole in the building, holding on by one hand. Zania, you quickly turn around and look and see Hao hanging by the edge. Betsy, you and Ren are currently knocked up against the wall. The boss, the mob boss that's there with the big old bee on his chain, is held on to just the bottom part of the floor that didn't break out. He took a sizable chunk of damage, but he's a big guy. He basically can stand on the floor below and have his hands up on the hole in the floor above.
This man is terrifying.
He looks up at you, and Betsy, you don't think you've ever seen this man before? However, he looks up at you and says, Betsy! Come here. Before he starts climbing up to the other floor.
What? Hey, Ren, you fine, right? And I'm like push him up and I'm like zoom off.
Do you try and run away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, if that's the case, and I notice Betsy's trying to go, I just grab her hand and dimension door, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go back to where we started.
Dimension door, so you're going
towards the stairwell.
You're staying in the building though.
No, as in like towards the stairwell where we started this whole adventure tonight.
Gotcha. Ren and Betsy disappear 500 feet below, probably say about 25 stories down. As you look up, as you disappear, you suddenly see huge chunks of stone flying downwards, knocking off gangplanks as it falls down, and you look up and see the other 150 stories leaning.
Just so you know, this is something that happens around us all the time.
See you bad luck. Dang.
Zania, you look down at Hao, who is currently dangling. What are you doing?
Reach, extend my arm.
Making sure. Rush over and do a strength save.
Husband. 10 fun. 12.
Hao, you also roll me a strength save.
So I have Pico inspo, right?
Do you have an inspo? Did you write it down?
I did because Pico came.
You also got inspo from the start of the show.
Right. Cool. So that first one was a 3 minus 1, so a 2. The second one is cool. That's a 10 minus 1, so that's a 9. Now, do I have guidance?
No.
Fair and reasonable, GM of mine.
As Zania, you rush over to grab him, and Hao's hand begins to slip. As such, you catch him just by the fingertips before you feel his finger slip and fall as Hao begins to fall off the side of the building.
I yell for Otta to maybe fly down and save him, maybe.
We'll pause there. I want to go to Betsy and Ren real quick. As Betsy, you're suddenly teleported down.
Hey, what's the big idea?
I mean, you probably didn't want to die in there, maybe?
I wasn't gonna die. I was gonna go get my chest.
By yourself?
You want to come with me again?
Not opposed.
All right, let's go. Let's get back up.
All right, we'll start flying back up, I
We start
guess.
zooming back
Betsy
up. 25.
and Ren fly upwards. As you're flying up, Ren, you see Hao falling.
Oh, okay, featherfall.
Hao, you weren't going to hit all the way down to the bottom, but it was going to be about a 20-story drop before there was another ledge that you would hit. As you're flying
That's already
downward,
ready with Thunderstep.
Oh yeah, fair enough. So you teleport past that ledge and go all the way down, right? So you go faster. You just want to end this.
Yeah, it's true. I actually up my
Yes.
momentum, and then I superhero landing, so there's just nothing but paste on the pavement.
Ren, you stop and quickly featherfall How as he goes down. As How you suddenly feel yourself as if falling in a pool of water around you.
Be safe.
Do you stop and go help How?
No.
Yeah.
Ren.
Thanks.
With the feather fall, Hal's gonna be fine.
You go with Betsy?
Yeah.
Betsy and Ren go flying upwards. Zinnia, you just saw your friend fall. You lean over and you see him begin to go slowly. And 2 fairies fly upwards.
A little bit out.
We're going a little bit over, but there's an ending we want to get to real quick, so we'll be very fast. Betsy and Ren, you fly upwards and head towards the chest, correct?
Yeah.
There is a large hole where there once was a wall. The door is now blown open rather than being slightly open. The boss is standing in the other side of the hallway as he looks over at you and sees you both rush and fly into the treasure room. You can hear his loud pounding footsteps as he goes in the hallway rushing towards you. But Betsy, you do immediately see your chest.
I want to, before I do that, as he's coming in behind me, like on the opposite side of the chest where the door is, where big boy's coming through, I want to place my homunculus, who I call my hummus.
What does that look like?
Oh, yeah. So, she's very beautiful.
No.
No.
Do you have a visual aid?
Yeah. So, like, she's got kind of like furry feathers and some limbs.
This is the greatest day of my life.
This is my homunculus, my hummus. And so whenever I place her, she's also now suddenly got my Eldritch Cannon, which has a flamethrower on it. And so she's walking with a flamethrower. Just, everything is lighting on fire behind us with her.
As a large mechanism comes out of Betsy's bag of holding, a literal turret cannon that plops on the ground as that abomination sits on the seat designed for Sam, just about the same height as the homunculus, and begins to shoot a jet of fire towards the mob boss, as that's where we'll stop for the night.
Amazing. Oh, wow. Aragorn.
Inspo. Point of inspo, Sam. For the next time you come on, you have it. Absolute wonderful. That shatter on the floor, I was not I was like, oh, she's gonna hurt him on the floor. Yes, I know what to do with the 10 GFYs. Bless up, Sam. Thank you. Right.
What a gift.
We destroy everything. Look at us go. This is what, city number 4 we've just set into ruin?
I'm just going through foundations, tinkering with how strong they are.
Also, Sam, hit exclamation giveaway so you can enter the giveaway too.
Yeah. If you haven't done so yet, make sure everybody does exclamation point giveaway and is following so that you can enter.
Everyone, you said?
Follow in the page and exclamation giveaway, then you'll have a ticket, and we will give away some dice to you. So take them. And
You.
Lana, if you want to go ahead and stop it up, I think this was a good spot to do it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And most of all, thank you, Sam, for joining us on this. This was an absolute blast. Definitely going to be a fan favorite character.
It was fun to play.
Glad that you enjoyed.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, no.
What was that?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Gigantic Loki has earned the metal dice. Congratulations, Loki.
Loki, good job.
Congratulations.
Good boy, Loki.
Woo! Congrats.
Good boy.
And we had our first use of the token tonight. That was really fun.
Sorry, Bobo. You got it and lost it.
Hey, could have lost you. I don't think Betsy actually had any healing things, did you?
So I did with the Eldritch thing, but I didn't want to waste it on healing because then I wouldn't have been able to use some part of it. It's not
I don't want to waste it.
Imagine
Don't
that
waste
Barbie
it on
furry
that guy.
healing you with healing bullets.
I mean, that could have been you wake up next to that and you're just like, oh.
Never mind, send me back.
think it's fantastic that Rin doesn't even know that like that chat came to save.
Right.
How does?
With that, last thing, I also want to say a huge shout out to, and thanks, Jackie, for making the name. Shout out to Daddy Encounters. Know that if they are watching, we're thinking about you and your family, Drew. This was a fun session, and hopefully, if your dad was watching, he enjoyed everything that happened to you throughout the session.
I think the pain meds have him knocked out right now, but I'm sure he would have enjoyed it.
Fantastic. Awesome. Chat did dab before they left because chat is from 2017, I guess. Thank you again, Sam, for coming on. It was an absolute pleasure. We'll check everybody the next time, and we'll see you all next week for another Red Wagon Inn. Make sure also you come check out tomorrow Jakey's charity stream, and then a week and a day from then come check out my charity stream. We're going to be doing a lot of canon Red Wagon Inn-esque adventures. All 3 of them will be canon in the world. So hope to see you there. Bye, everybody. Make sure you check out Sam on Twitter and on Instagram and on Twitch because she's awesome. Thanks again, Sam.
Just zoom in on all the socials. JUSTSEUM on all socials, and then SEUM on Twitch.
Hold out right there. Do it.
Do it or you're a coward. You're a coward if you don't. You're a coward.
Do it.
Not even brave.
Yeah, are you scared of a fairy or something?
Yeah.
Yes.